Just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Rev Business is connecting Louisiana companies across 11 parishes, backed by 85 years of service. Our seamless all-fiber network is keeping businesses up and running with speeds for every need, like managing point-of-sale systems, making calls remotely, and connecting multiple offices. Make the switch today to Rev Business and experience solutions that deliver and service that's uniquely homegrown. Visit letsrev.biz to get started. Rev Business.
Custom Colors of Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's friendliest body and paint shop and is the area's only certified BMW shop. Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight have been serving Baton Rouge since 1987. Conveniently located in Industrialplex off Siegen and Airline. Custom Colors Body and Paint.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Wednesday, June 5th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies, possible thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of 88. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk some LSU football, talk about how Christian McCaffrey has completely reset the running back market once again in the NFL. And is LSU the Harvard of the South? We'll dive into all that and a whole lot more. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And you can also watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in, OTB. Another day, Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you today. In many ways, kind of like the first day of the real offseason. We are now post-baseball, unfortunately. We've got maybe a couple tidbits of some baseball transfer portal news. Obviously, we are now in countdown to football mode, and therefore we have some LSU football talk, both on the recruiting front and kind of more generally. There's a really good piece ranking all the offensive lines in the SEC and what it kind of shows you about LSU and whatnot. Also, you heard Taylor's Harvard of the South tease there. And what is Nichols? A Harvard on the Bayou, I believe. Now we have two Harvards, okay? Move over.
I've always said that. As far as education, Louisiana at the top. Everyone knows this.
I agree. Speaking of Louisiana at the top, a big presser yesterday at the Sanger over there in New Orleans with LaToya Cantrell and Jeff Landry. An unlikely pairing as they are promising to fix New Orleans before the upcoming Super Bowl in February. There's some lofty goals espoused because, of course, there are. It feels a little last minute maybe, but I want to get into kind of what they're saying and whether or not, we'll kind of watch with bemused interest as to see whether or not they can pull this off.
Bemused?
Yes. I would say, how would I try to define bemused without looking up? A bit like kind of like, that's cute. Like, I don't really believe this is going to work, but I am interested enough to kind of sit here and watch from afar.
Okay.
Alondra, were you looking up a exact definition of bemused? Yeah, what do we got?
Puzzled, confused, or bewildered.
Okay, so yeah. I'm maybe a little off, but just kind of like...
It could be used that way.
We'll see. We'll see if this ends up working.
We'll give you partial credit.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fine.
I'll use it later. Don't worry.
I'm inclined to believe that it is.
I like to use it when I'm with Bobby because he gets so excited. Just like I get excited when you use it here, He gets the same excitement when I use it on off campus.
Vocab's awesome, dude.
He likes to use it. He probably uses it in his classes too to make him sound smarter.
That's the weird part about Bobby, is that he's way smarter than we are. He's a literal professor of finance.
Yeah.
He just has abs.
You can't trust him.
Like I don't know what to tell you guys. That's how it works. We got some Saints news as well. Something we kind of touched on yesterday. I have a couple conversations I want to get into. One of which is like, out of the big three busts, who is maybe most likely, or who do you most need to step up in order to have a good season this year? And of course, I'm talking about what I would call Trevor Penning, Peyton Turner, and Isaiah Foskey. Three very high picks from recent drafts that have been complete non-entities in their time in the NFL. And so maybe that one's a bit negative sounding. But on the positive side, I think we need to give Paulson and Debo some flowers, man. John Hendricks had a good piece on, I believe, Canal Street Chronicles, pointing out some of the numbers that Debo put up last year, ranked in regards to his peers. And you see why this Saints secondary, this quarterback room specifically, has a chance to be a top 5 group in the entirety of the NFL. Maybe we get a little Angel Reese drama as well if we want to. Shoot, I mean, it is crazy the way that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark continue to dominate the headlines and the 24/7 sports news cycle. It's almost like a new age, social media infused female version of like Bird and Magic.
Yeah.
From back in the day. And it's awesome. A feud from college continuing now into the WNBA. And again, I know for me, I still think the WNBA is at a point where it's not exactly no press is bad press, but it's also not that. I think it's very good for the league that yesterday every single national show. I mean, you said First Take spent the first 40 minutes
without a commercial. Molly Curum had to interrupt them and say, guys, we have to go to break. Like, it's been almost an hour.
So, because look, if Stephen
and that's TV, that ain't no room for error.
Bad.
But that shows you the stick that Stephen A swings. Yeah. That he could take a national channel like that and be like, we ain't going to break because I don't want to yet. So what were the next segments like? Did they get those commercials in, or did they end up having to stream?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I just saw that it was 40 minutes.
There is no way that they went and did like 1 minute segments. They're definitely like just making it up on the back end somewhere.
Somehow. Yeah, there's no way they came in for little snippets. And then Angel Reese gets ejected from last night's game.
Yeah.
And I don't know what she said, but it wasn't for a play. It's for what she said, I guess.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of looking around. I know her teammates had her back, said that was really soft. And so I'm not sure what she said, but now that still adds to it. And, they're trying to paint Angel Reese in a certain way. She's going to be what looks like, the villain of the WNBA.
Yeah, it is interesting seeing a lot of, because she had the comments about how basically saying that, look, everybody's not watching women's basketball just because of one person. They're watching because of me. They're watching because a lot of the players in the WNBA. And just a little anecdotal Twitter search shows that a lot of the country does not agree with her. Thinks people are just basically watching because of Caitlin Clark and definitely view Angel Reese as like riding her coattails or as a villain. Obviously, being that we're Angel Reese's fans, we're probably going to have a bit of a different perspective here. Though, again, we did kind of call her out Monday for skipping that media session after the loss to the Fever. That was a little weak. But, I think what probably got her ejected last night, too, Jake, was the hand wave.
Yeah.
Refs hated dismissive hand wave.
No, they said that.
Yeah.
The commissioner of the WNBA said she said something to the ref for the first tech, then she hand waved, got her the double tech, that led to the ejection.
Hand wave can do a lot of damage, dude.
Oh, man. I'm glad hand waves weren't getting me kicked out of games.
I got in very bad trouble with Coach Miles one day for a hand wave. Pissed him off quite badly, I later learned, talking to another coach. I guess it was like stayed up too late. Gears Awards just dropped at midnight the night before. And me and the boys stayed up till like 5 a.m., 5 boxing it in the crib. And then we're just like exhausted at practice the next day, right? Half asleep. And Les is just like, I don't know, They decided that it was one of those days where he was just going to come over and teach O-line technique. And I kind of, at one point, I was just too tired, I guess, and I hit him with one of these, the little backhand kind of shoe type deal, and not good.
Take a lap.
Yeah, not good. Not
Make
good
it
at
a
all.
long lap.
I even got in trouble for that with my wife yesterday. I accidentally hit her with a hand wave, and she about chopped it off, dude. Yeah, it was not good. So Angel Reese, me, we're basically the same person, WNBA stars and maybe a bit too disrespectful. But shout out Angel Reese. We got Angel's back. Still got a double in limited minutes. All right, where do we want to start? Do we want to start? First of all, how's everyone doing today? Jake, how's the back? Feeling okay? Slowly but surely?
We're here. We're here. The stairs were a little bit better this morning.
Oh. Yeah, and what can only be described as a ironic twist of fate. We've always had an old elevator in this building, and it's been kind of a running joke, but it's always like up to code, it runs, it's fine, it's safe, or whatever. Yeah. And we've been redoing the interior of this building. Really nice additions being made. One of them, though, is a new kind of painting mural sign outside of Alondra's office that says, what does it say exactly? Don't worry.
Wait, I have the video.
It's something along the lines of like,
it's old, but it works.
It's old, but it works.
Yes,
like,
don't worry. The elevator's old, but it works. The elevator's been out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then there's a sign like directly across from it that says "elevator out of service."
Yeah. I flew a bit too close to the sun with that wall joke.
Yeah, in a 4-story building, I'm typically. Like I've never taken the elevator here before.
No.
But now when I need it,
it's not here.
It's not
I know.
Here.
I went to bat for you yesterday.
Another cruel twist of fate.
I appreciate that.
No, look, if you're on the 3rd floor, I agree, right? For years, I was fat and took the elevator, and then now I probably haven't taken it in a few years, but still, like moving into that new office, moving that desk upstairs, I about passed out.
Wait, you moved that desk up the stairs by yourself?
Hell yeah.
No one helped you?
Yeah.
It must be the haircut.
I'm freaking swole, dude.
You're the opposite of Samson.
Look, in T-Bob's credit, he's like going upstairs. I see him coming out like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, do you need help? He's like, no, I got this. And he did it himself.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a man. I'm 35.
Yeah.
Okay?
I can't wait to say that next year.
You're close.
Close.
You're close. You could almost go full Gundy.
Yeah. Yes. It's like the only good thing about being 40.
I thought he was going to say the only good thing about Mike Gundy. I was like, well, kind of, but I mean, he does win 10 games a lot of times.
I mean, he's been there since Les has been gone. So.
Oklahoma State is pretty legit. Ollie Gordon's a beast.
Yeah.
Yes, college football talk. Expect a lot of that coming this summer. And so why don't we kick it off next segment here? Remember, guys, youtube.com/1045ESPN. If you want to get involved, hit the like button. Share it with your friends. OTB Saints and OTB LSUs, where you can catch all of the breakouts. We'd love if you'd sub to those as well. Coming up next, let's take a look at where this LSU offensive line ranks in the SEC, and then we'll dovetail with a little LSU O-line recruiting as this 2025 class could continue to add major names to the mix. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org. 925-8552. That's 925-8552. Plug it in your phone, and if you ever have a plumbing problem, call Central Plumbing. You get 24/7 emergency service, flat rate pricing, great warranty coverage. Everybody who comes in your home is licensed, bonded, and insured. You can trust them. It really is just an unparalleled service for when something goes wrong. But not just when you're at your lowest. Maybe you just want to do like a bathroom remodel as a gift to your spouse. Maybe like a tankless water heater for the fam. Anything. It's all there, guys, at Central Plumbing.
Yeah, with those upgrades, new vanity, new tub, new shower, new tile, new whatever, they can come in. They can do that if it's for, 1 bathroom, 2, 3, 10. Like, it doesn't really matter. As you'll see, the fleet's ready to go on the homepage of the website. Like T-Bob said, go tankless today with a tankless water heater. Never run out of hot water again. Call them today at 225-925-8552.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Musco.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes LUBA a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Saints, final media availability for OTAs. We'll have it covered, and the latest from the college baseball transfer portal, which Tigers are staying and going. We'll tell you 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy.
What's going on, y'all?
Was the son of a preacher man.
Son of a police camp. It doesn't work. Too many syllables. I'm just going to try to make it about you. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back here to OTB, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Hope you're all having a great Wednesday. That's right. Hump day. Let's get done. All right. Let's talk a little LSU football here. As there's a solid piece. What was this on? Where Tiger Wire? Yeah, the USA Today LSU fan site. Basically ranking the SEC offensive lines, and here they are. Coming in at 5th, the Missouri Tigers. Of course, incredible year last year. Outside zone used to great effect. Should be good again this season. Coming in at number 4, Alabama. An offensive line that seemed to have all the talent in the world last year. Really struggled early on, but found their way late. And I think is going to be the main driving force behind this Kalen DeBoer Alabama team. Number 3, Texas. Why am I blanking on his name? Their tackle is maybe one of the only guys.
Kelvin Banks.
Thank you. Kelvin Banks is one of the only guys that can maybe challenge Will Campbell for that first offensive lineman taken off the board coming up this spring. Number 2, you have UGA. They have a guard combo that is equivalent to your tackle combo.
Yeah.
2 guys that are first rounders that are top 10 in their position in the entire country. And then no surprise here, number one in the SEC, and it's not even that particularly close, your LSU Tigers. And it's not because, like, look, this is an opinionated offseason list. But it's not just that they rank number one. It's that when you look at all the lines, it really starts to show you how exceedingly rare what LSU will be bringing to bear up front this year is, in that it's almost, well, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. I've never seen, Jake, the combination of experience and talent line up on a single unit that has 5 guys that are normally always like varied, different years, and maybe you have like 3 guys that are juniors and seniors, like a freshman mixed in, 1 sophomore in the bunch. I mean, outside of DJ Chester, all you got are not just vets, but kind of like super vets.
Yeah.
I mean, and Will Campbell and Emory Jones, you have 2 guys that have combined for 50 snaps. And Garrett Dellinger and Miles Frazier, you have 2 guys that are entering their 4th season as starters. How about this? This is a great number within the article. Who wrote it? Taylor, give me the name so I can credit him. The guards and tackles have played a combined 7,209 snaps together. Again, unparalleled. So, I mean, a lot of pressure on DJ Chester being the new guy to make it work. But it's all that experience mixed with the fact that Emory Jones is a for surefire first-round pick, and Will Campbell's number 1 overall on the Athletics big board. It's a wild, dominant, unprecedented, in my experience, amount of talent experience.
Yeah, you're right. So you mentioned Kelvin Banks at Texas. He's going to be top 10 pick, but that's one guy. You mentioned Georgia and their guards. Like Tate Ratledge is a really, really good football player. Probably going to be a back end of the first round, maybe type of guy. Like that's a maybe, but those are one guy.
Yeah.
And Georgia's got a couple of guards. You're right. And Texas has some good linemen, but they don't have what LSU has. They don't have 2 bookend left and right tackles that are going to be first rounders. Will Campbell's challenging to be maybe the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
If he stays on the same path, he'll be a top 5 pick without question. Emory Jones has played his way into the teens right now. I think Garrett Dellinger is going to be a pro. I don't know what that round looks like, but he's going to be a pro. And DJ Chester, somebody that young, to be able to play that position, who knows where his career could go as well. So it's not just one guy like it is at some other places. It's not just 2 guys. I mean, it is, like you pointed out, the totality of this offensive front. And you've actually, you've got some quality backups that you feel pretty good about as well. Like even losing a guy like you lost last year to Tennessee and Hurd, like you still feel really good because you have a 5-star coming in that is a tackle that's going to, be able to learn under 2 of the best in the country and then step right in as well. And if he had to play, like, you wouldn't feel awful about it because you have some real depth on this offensive front. And look, when I was catching up with Scott Woodward down in Destin, like just, having some conversation about what the team's going to look like next year, man, when he talks about the offensive line, he just lights up. I mean, from coach to players to philosophy to everything. That's probably the most excited I saw Scott talking about this football team.
Well, it's look, in a roster full of question marks, not only is it it has none. Like it is the most surefire, successful group on the team, and it would be almost in any year, but it's especially impactful in a year where you're going to be working in a new quarterback. You're going to be working in a new set of co-offensive coordinators, a new play caller, right? Like new receivers who are going to have to try to step up and be dominant. Like the thing that makes all of this. That's the great part about the offensive line. It doesn't have the lightning bolt, very visible impact that, let's say, Jake, a Malik Neighbors who can make a leaping catch in the back of the end zone has, right? But what the offensive line does have is its impact is diffused over the entirety of the team. Like, that's why there's all these, it all starts up front. You could also extend that thing. It all starts up front, and then it extends to all the other position groups. So, like, you give the quarterback more time. You give the receivers more time to get open. The quarterback's more comfortable throwing out of a set base. It's easier for us to find them. I mean, obviously with running back, it's not hard to understand at all, especially with a revised rushing attack, which LSU's going to try to look to employ this year. Like if this team is going to push back or push past that 9-3 kind of glass ceiling that I've put on them, it will be because this offensive line is setting the table for everyone else to have great success.
Yeah, I mean, what Brad Davis also just brings to this offensive front, they got one of the best offensive line coaches in the country as well. So, like that, again, like it's the totality. It's everything that T-Bob's laying out. It's the coach that they have. Brad Davis is somebody that any school in the country would want to have him as their offensive line coach, right? And he has shown that he can do more with less. But now look at what he has to play with. I mean, he has the who's who of the offensive front. So think about the line play that they've gotten. I mean, you're starting a true freshman in the SEC, and Will Campbell, now one of the best players in the country, but like he got him ready to be in that position. Emory Jones wasn't expected to even play tackle.
No.
He was supposed to be a guard, but you, out of necessity, had to make him a tackle, and now you've made him a first-round tackle.
Yeah.
Like, that's a tip of the cap to Brad Davis and what he's been able to do. You start with Dellinger at center, and then you have to move Charles Turner to center second game, and you make it work. Now, the players get credit too, but you have to have an offensive line coach that can go out there, can do that, and not miss a beat.
Well, and Brad Davis, like the other B. Davis, is both a great coach and recruiter. And the vision, and you know he's a hard man. He has a very high standard, but that vision that he has for this position group continues to pay dividends. And it looks like it could be getting even better as well. As LSU this last weekend had 5-star, 6'4", 315 offensive tackle Solomon Thomas on campus for an official visit. Now, Thomas is he's listed as an offensive tackle, but he's ranked as the #1 interior offensive line in the country, according to some services, Jake. And you had him on campus this spring. You had him official this last weekend. Brad Davis spearheading the recruitment. And, well, let's just say this. Although he's been committed to FSU since the beginning, LSU and Brad Davis are starting to feel like they may be able to pry him away. Here's a quote that Solomon Thomas told on 3 Steve Wiltfong. Quote, I'm talking about LSU here. They're different. They are different. I can say that. Coach Davis and the expectations that he has for his offensive line are different. The players he has are different. Of course, they have Coach Davis, but kudos to Will Campbell and Emory Jones. Emory's a dog, and so is Will. Emory's a freaking dog. He can lead a team. They come up as freshmen, and they left. I don't know how they were before, but they set the expectation very high, and I loved it. Will Fong would go on to say that through his conversation with Thomas, he thinks LSU crushed it this last weekend, and he believes that Thomas says that he's never seen anything anywhere else like what LSU is bringing to bear in terms of the standard. So, yes, Brad Davis is changing the entire culture around the LSU offensive line, not just in the current, but in the future as well. And it looks like they continue to lay some really good groundwork in terms of solidifying it going into the future.
I think one of the things I'm most excited about when we start talking about offensive line is you have the ability to run multiple schemes. Now, you haven't had to do that because you had the ultimate game changer in Jaden Daniels at quarterback. And so, like, you had the ability to use his running ability. And I don't want to say be simple in the run game, but it was. It was a KISS method. It was keep it simple, stupid. You don't have to do that anymore because you have offensive linemen. Like, if you want to run outside zone, you can run it either direction. Like, Missouri ran it to the left behind Javon Foster last year, and Cody Schrader is one of the best outside zone runners we had. And so, like, teams knew that and still couldn't stop it. Okay, but you can run outside zone both ways. You can run inside zone still. You can do any gap scheme because you've got 2 guards that are pullers. If you want to run some kind of a horn boss situation, you can do that. I mean, you have a center that's super athletic. If you want him to be a puller, you can do anything that you want to in the run game. And I'm right. Give me a counter. Like, you got all these tight ends, make them the second puller. You can make it in 11 personnel. Mm-hmm. Tennessee does it all the time. Their tight end becomes the second puller, and they gash people because you're in 11, everybody's spread out, and you can still be aggressive.
It's what LSU did with Mashburn back in the day, right? When they set the record against Florida.
That's exactly right. They knew it was coming. And #1 for Florida, Cox, quit. He tapped out. He said, no mas. I don't want any more of this. He was on the field, but he quit because you just kept time and time again spreading them out, one-on-one matchup, and Mashburn just, he mashed him.
Yeah. Jack Mashburn, wherever you are, shout out, dude. Legendary day. I love those little tiny little moments and fleeting bits of game and story that'll be lost to time, but at the time were so fun to celebrate and made you so happy. So So, yeah, look, I guess the point of this segment is to just really highlight what an incredible strength the LSU offensive line is, but not just the strength. Like, again, I really want to highlight the unprecedented nature of it. Because, Jake, we've seen some incredible lines, right? A line featuring like Rodney Reed, Stephen Peterman. Would Witt have been on that line as well? Yep. Like, is that what maybe comes closest to this?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that was, he had Ben Wilkerson
in
the middle of that.
Well. Yeah, that's a strong four right there as well.
That one's tough. That one's tough to beat, but.
Like, I mean, this probably has 4 to 5 NFL guys on it as well.
That's what I'm thinking. And you're going to top in, like, Andrew Whitworth's one of the best tackles to play in football in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
But, like, coming out of college, Will Campbell's going to have more hype than any LSU offensive lineman maybe ever. Like, I mean, we're talking Kevin Mawai and Alan Faneca. Those guys are Hall of Fame football players. But I'm talking about just out of college, day one, the hype surrounding Will Campbell in the NFL is going to be higher than it's ever been before.
And, you know, even if you want to say that the Peterman line and all that was better, that's 20 years ago now, 22 years ago. So there's been entire lifetimes lived and died and, you know, babies born that can now drink and do whatever they want. Like, it's been a long time since you've had this amount of talent up front. I always think about what practice must be like, too. Because there's such a disparity between the offensive line and the defensive lines. It's a great thing for the D-line. Unfortunately, maybe the O-line not always getting the work that they would maybe ideally want. But it's a great thing for the D-line because they're going to get to game day and they're going to say, oh, wait, this is what a normal college football offensive line looks like? Okay, this is way better. This is way easier than it actually normally is going against Gallagher and Campbell and Frazier and Emory Jones and DJ Chester. So I'm excited. As an O-lineman, it warms my heart to see Brian Kelly, which really, look, everywhere he's been, it's so funny how coaches can develop kind of talents for certain position groups, right? And everywhere he's been really good at producing NFL O-linemen and tight ends, just whatever he does culturally. Now we just need to get a bit of that on the defensive line front, which, when we get back, we can touch on because there's a couple D-line stories kind of percolating in the air on the Cruton front. We'll get to some Saints news as well. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Look, you can go on getgordon.com and you can actually fill out a free consult right there online if you've been in an accident and you don't exactly know what to do next. What you need to do is get in touch with Gordon and get him, right? Because they're going to stand up for you. They're going to fight against the big insurance companies, and they're going to get you what you deserve. They handle a plethora of different cases. You can, again, go online and check them out. Also, follow them on social media at Get Gordon, where you'll see great content about how to protect yourself when you get in an accident, kind of some great general life advice, and, as always, content with your members of the G Team, your favorite LSU athletes. Get Gordon, get it done today.
Yeah, when you go to getgordon.com, you can literally do it all. You can get a consultation set up. You can ask a question. You can see past client results, cases they handle, all right there on the website. You know your area code in Louisiana. Follow about 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way.
Sandiger, join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Nicholson at Burbank. Scott Rabelais joins us along with Russ Reynolds from Beeson and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday from Modesto on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Is it all right with me? 'Cause you make me feel so brand
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Feeling a little soulful this morning, Alondra. I love it.
This is actually the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Oh, there you go.
I was watching it last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Any great takeaways from an additional Pulp Fiction watching?
I don't know. I watch it all the time. I just love it. It never gets old to me.
Oh, have we ever done a Pulp Fiction Halloween costume?
No, but I would be so down to be Mia Wallace.
We have to do this if for no other reason than to make Taylor the Gimp.
Yes.
I'm not doing the Gimp.
Yes, you are.
There's so
dude.
many good
We
characters.
just decided that you are.
There's
You're
so many
being the
good
Gimp.
characters
Yes,
in this
you are.
movie.
You're absolutely.
He's in the movie for 20
Yeah,
seconds.
I mean, hey, that's fine.
But
dude.
we all remember him.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, good. Okay, lock it in. We got a few months. You got a few months to get your Gimp costume together, Taylor. Look, I know nobody loves a themed costume event like you do. Okay?
This is true.
I saw you jam your tall ass onto that tiny little trike when you dressed up as Jigsaw.
Couldn't pedal.
I'm going to need the same amount of effort and intensity from you when it comes to creating your Gimp costume.
Okay, so Gimp, Mia, what are you going to be?
I don't know yet. I only want to do this to make Taylor the Gimp.
Yeah,
to be
I mean,
painfully clear here.
We can decide the rest of it
I think
later.
Jake feels like Travolta.
Vincent.
Yeah, put him
Vega.
put him in it. We'll put him in a long wig, looking smooth.
Yeah. With the UC Santa Barbara shirt.
I would love to be Samuel L. Jackson.
Or is it Santa Cruz? I think it's Santa Cruz, actually.
It's Santa Cruz Banana Slugs.
Yeah,
Banana Slugs. Shout out. I'd love to be Samuel L. I don't know if that's too problematic or not.
Well, no, you just don't do the
Well,
whole...
duh, I'm not going to paint my... Yes, I
could
do
be
know. I'm
Pumpkin.
not dumb. I'm not going to paint my face or
Well,
anything,
then
obviously.
I don't think it'd be problematic.
But I think like an afro and a mustache may...
You could be
may
Pumpkin.
play.
Well...
Tim Ross character.
Yeah, you
could be Tim Ross character.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
You can't
Butch.
do Pulp Fiction, though, and not have Samuel
L.
and
Jackson.
Travolta.
Right, exactly.
Right? Like you have to. It's like you have to have the
I
Gimp.
think it's fine.
I don't think you have to have the
think you
Gimp.
do have to
Bob.
have the Gimp.
I feel like a lot of people that watch Pulp Fiction, they turn it on again, they're like, I forgot about the Gimp.
I don't think
You
so.
definitely have to have the Gimp. Like, the Gimp is the most iconic part of the movie. There's no Pulp Fiction without the GIMP.
I agree. All right, let's get into. Maybe we can re-explore some Tarantino a bit later in the in the show, but for now, grades matter, guys. Okay, I know that I make a lot of jokes about I didn't come here to play school, because that's one of the funniest quotes of all time, and in many ways it's true. Like, I don't know about you, Jake, but when I was in school, I devoted my life to football. Right, like. Education was secondary. Education was the thing that you did in order to stay available for football. Not everybody does that.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot do, and I would probably be among that number. But at the end of the day, you still have to, even if that is how you treat things, you still have to make the grades and get it done within those parameters.
And I will say, and I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but college football and college athletics, and I can't speak on the other sports. I didn't play the other sports, but being around those student athletes when we were together, we were always doing something like practice and making sure you're eating the right way and working out and doing like all the things you have to do to be elite at your sport, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not being disrespectful to the school portion of that. It's not, but it's just, there's so many things that go in. If you really want to be great, if you want to start, if you want to fulfill your dreams, like you have to give so much time over to it. And I don't want to say school is secondary, because it's a part of it. You have to do it, and not everybody's going to go play in the professional ranks, and so you need that degree to be able to go start your life. But when I got to the NFL, the football portion of it, was so much easier than it was in college, because it was football all the time.
Yeah.
I was there from 5:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. There was like, if you have an MA in the NFL, it's on you.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing what you need to. That's your life, that's your school, that's your everything. And so, yeah, when you got school and you're doing all those things, like that quote sounds funny, but I understand some of it where it's coming from, because you have to devote so much attention if you want to be great.
Well, yeah, and I always felt like, too, the pressure, like, that drives you to do things, the pressure was so much more tangible and immediate when it came to the football field than it was school. Because the pressure from school is applied in a sort of vague, shadowy, in the future, this is going to matter. And I think I am one of many that looks back and regrets, like, I really wish I hadn't done just like general studies. I really wish I had taken advantage of getting a free education at a very good institution and all these sorts of things. I think these thoughts are natural, whatever. This is all to say, though, that as you're going to see, even if you think that school is secondary, it doesn't matter. Getting the job done is the sign of a healthy organization, and one that will likely be successful. So LSU football, raised its academic progress rate score above minimum standards during this when the 22 and 23 year was factored in. So I'll explain why this matters. You have a multi-year score. It's a 4-year running score that shows your graduation rate. And this is, if you fall under the minimum, you can get penalized heavily. Now, these penalties have been excused because of COVID, which is good because, well, LSU was under that 930 threshold. And look, a 930 threshold is when on average about 50% of your team is going to graduate. It was all the way down to I have the lowest single year score. The year before Brian Kelly got here, 22-23, it was all the way down to 897. So LSU was under 930. When you factor in Brian Kelly's first year, it jumps up 11 points all the way to 934, technically clearing that minimum threshold that leads to punishments. Now, there's still a long way to go. And this is where you start to see that, no, this stuff actually matters. LSU still last at 934. Tennessee next lowest at 945. Guess who's first? Alabama. 997. 997 graduation rate. Again, you think Alabama cats just care about school more than LSU does? No, it's a sign of a healthy process, of a healthy organization, of leadership.
Right.
The same things that Brian Kelly has tried to instill here in Baton Rouge. Again, so LSU only at 934, still a lot of work to be done, but the single-year score from the first year under Brian Kelly, as you're instilling new process, 977. So that would have ranked damn near the top of the SEC. So I'll be interested to see in 2-3 years how this continues to grow. For whatever it's worth, the multi-year average for FBS teams was 968. And like I said, let's look at some of these other LSU programs, and you'll see these are some of the more successful ones. Beach volleyball, women's golf, gymnastics, softball, all got perfect scores. Baseball, 985. Women's basketball, 979. Again, I'm seeing a correlation between positive academic scores and success on the field. And it's not to say that it is that one causes the other, but it is to say that a great leader with the correct processes in place to lead to success on the court has a process that also leads to success in the classroom. And it also validates. When Brian Kelly tells you the main goal is to graduate champions and whatnot, things like this validate that that's more than just a slogan for the media and us to applaud, that no, they're actually putting it into practice.
I think all those things are valuable, man. They help your program. They solidify your program. And you build this foundation where you set the standard and you know what the standard is going to be. And you mentioned Alabama. That's what Coach Saban was all about. Like the process and his way, and not like his way or the highway, because it never felt like that. But it was just like, hey, here's what we're going to be. You can either come here and you can be this, or this is maybe not the place for you. And Brian Kelly's done the same thing. So what we're like, that's why they use graduate champions. And some people might eye roll that, but that's really what he believes in.
Yeah.
I've had private conversations with him, had one in Destin. Like, he believes in that process. And when you start to build that foundation and you're bringing in, 4 or 5-star players that are going to be future pros, and they buy into that, then you're going to have the program that you want. And it's going to, it's going to have this foundation where no matter what happens with you, like you bring one bad player in, that bad player is going to get weeded out because that foundation is already built.
Yeah.
And so like those are the things that's why you do it, because you're trying to make sure that no matter who it is that's playing in this program, they realize from day one what the standard is going to be.
Well, and grades are a bit like when people say, look, you get your degree, it's not to prepare you necessarily for a job. It's to show that you can learn, so that when you get to the job, they can feel confident that, because like that's when you're going to actually learn how to do the job, right? Through like actually doing it. But when you get there, you will have already proven that, look, I can take information, I can memorize whatever, I can do a test, blah, blah, blah. In that same way, having great grades and being a college athlete it just tells me that, okay, no, you're disciplined. You can handle responsibility. You've matured. And I think that, again, when you look at the successful teams in this conference and where they rank academically or in terms of just the graduation success rate, I think there is a correlation there. So credit to Brian Kelly. That's the first time, again, only the first year of Kelly factored in to that equation. You're now above minimum standards. You will avoid any punishments, and it will only go up from here as you're going to have some of your lower years knocked off and more Kelly years added on.
And last point, I know we got to take a break. It's important that, like, when you first get here, you're surrounded by people that have the same thought process as you have and the program has. Like, I know for me, it made it so much easier when I got to LSU because, look, I was coming from a very small school. Academics were certainly secondary to athletics. No problem admitting that. But I was roommates with Luke Sanders and Craig Stelz, who took school very seriously. And from the first summer school class, like, they were around me. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to be a part of that. Yeah. And they were freshmen just like I was, but they were very intelligent. They were people that cared about school. And so, like, you surround yourself around those kind of people, it makes you want to do those things. And if the whole program's doing that, then everybody does it.
So, kids, if you didn't come here to play school, that's fine, but you need to play enough. You need to play enough. All right. When we get back, a couple of stories to close of the show, a little gymnastics, a little CMC. Keep it locked right here and Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Located off of Airline and Goodwood. It's very conveniently located. If you want to go show up unannounced and just go talk to the excellent sales team and try to explore what they have right there on site, be it a Toyota certified used vehicle where you get a great deal, but still get like warranty coverage and whatnot. Maybe it's a brand new vehicle. Maybe it's a leasing, buying outright. renting with cheaper per day rental pricing, traditional rental companies, hit and miss these sessions. The point is, whatever your needs are, they have answers, and they have great deals going on all the time. And you can explore those at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Also, service center, body shop, all makes and models welcome. Come on, y'all. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, go to the website today if you're buying new, if you're leasing, or if you're renting. I give you all those processes at the same time because everything's available in all three of those processes. So go ahead and get that summer rental ready today. Call Miss Lisa Sessions, like T-Bob said, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Koki Riley from The Advocate puts a button on the 2024 baseball season, and I give you my look at the 2025 roster and where LSU goes from here. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. OTB. Hope you're having a great day. Wednesday. No flustering today. Matt Flynn out of town. But I will see Flynn this Friday as our daughters are in dance together. And recital this Friday. And guess what? There's a daddy-daughter portion of the recital. And I love it because I feel like the old salty stage vet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't worry, guys. Just follow me. Okay. I was in the Nutcracker. I don't know. Maybe you saw Purple Party Dad. I think it may be the only dad that has my own pair of dancing shoes. already. So be on the lookout, guys, this Friday. Just fair warning. A couple of pieces of news, close of the hour here. A couple of random gym pieces of news. Kaya Johnson has announced that she will not be returning for her 6th season. It makes sense, right? Her 4th year, she tears her Achilles. She comes back from injury 5th year, is a core piece of a national championship run. She wants to go out on top. So now, Haley Bryant, Sierra Ballard, Aliona Shinikova, and Chase Brock have all announced they're returning. Kaya Johnson is not. Livy Dunn and Elena Arena is still up in the air. And this was a bummer, man. We missed this. T's and P's up for Connor McClain. I didn't realize this. Of course, Connor McClain was the stalwart freshman on this LSU national championship gymnastics team. She tore her Achilles after the season in a pre-Olympic qualifying meet, in the warm-up for the meet in Hartford, Connecticut. So she just had surgery, successful surgery for whatever that's worth. But unfortunately, her dreams of being on the 24 U.S. Olympic team, which were very real, not going to happen. So what a cruel bummer for Connor McClain. Can you imagine? You go through a whole season, you win a natty, you're working constantly, and then a warm-up gets you. That's brutal, man. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it's awful. It's terrible news. And obviously, that's the ultimate goal, right? To get to the Olympics. It's when you start that when you're 3-4 years old, that is the end goal. It's just like making it, to any professional league, but even harder. To make it to the Olympics. I mean, very few spots and thousands of people trying to take, one of those spots and feel like you had a chance, and you get injured, not even in an event, like in a warm-up.
Crazy, in a warm-up. But so Connor, just know Tiger Nation is behind you and praying for you. Remember, guys, midstream ads are not actually our fault. It's a new YouTube thing where we play licensed music. We get demonetized. They now give the power to inject ads to the people who own the copyright. Alas, there we are. Hour 2 coming up next. It's open with some talk on how they're going to fix New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Trash Rangers. Yum. I don't know why I do that Red Robin bit with Trash Rangers every time. It just sounds so right. I need to come up with something better than yum. Workshop it here, guys. What can we say? Trash Rangers.
Now you're getting into like the Green Acres is the place to be.
I wasn't thinking of that, but I'm not opposed to that.
Living is the life for me.
Trash Rangers is the waste for me.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe we're getting there. We're starting to chip away. Look, the point is, if you want local, efficient, reliable waste management from people who are actually from the community, involved in the community, give back to the community, who give a damn, you want to make the switch to Trash Rangers here in Livingston or Central Parish. There's a reason why all your neighbors are making the switch, okay? And no matter where you live, if you got a big project, you need roll-off dumpsters of any size, get in touch with Trash Rangers today, trashsignup.com, trashrangersllc.com, and, they can work with you to suit your needs. Trash Rangers!
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Wednesday, June 5th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of about 88. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk about possible improvements to the city of New Orleans, the baseball transfer portal, and some Angel Reese drama. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 2 here on this Wednesday. So, no flustering today because Matt Flynn's not in here, but we will honor the spirit of flustering as we've got a really great story. Well, there was a recent bit that was making the rounds of an Edmonton Oilers fan flashing the camera after a big goal. But
see that.
But that then led through some connective tissue to maybe the craziest night in sports history from a fan and atmosphere standpoint, which was 50 years ago, June 4th, 1974. So yesterday, 50 years ago, when Cleveland, who was awful at the time, decided to have 10-cent beer night.
Oh, yeah.
And it got rowdy. So we'll get there and we'll discuss it. But first, let's open with what we teased. New Orleans, the Super Bowl, coming in February. What is it, end of February or is it March this year?
February.
End of February.
Second Sunday in February.
Oh, second Sunday in February. For some reason, I thought it was third, fourth. Anyway, well, that's what now? 8 months away? 7, 8 months away? Yesterday, Governor Jeff Landry and Mayor LaToya Cantrell, again, hilarious combo, promised, they had a press conference at the Sanger where they promised massive effort to fix NOLA infrastructure issues in the coming months to prepare for the Super Bowl. If you've heard a politician promise infrastructure improvements before, go ahead and take a drink. I kind of love that this was at the Sanger as well. Might end up being a bit appropriate, given that, this could end up being more performative than anything. But they're calling it the summer of the Super Bowl, Jake. And they're seeking to, amongst other things, fix street lights, fix busted sidewalks, work on the city's homeless encampments. They want to improve public safety. And Jeff Landry saying the state will play, quote, an unprecedented role in preparing the city for the Super Bowl, saying, by the time we host the Super Bowl in New Orleans, will be one of the safest cities in the country. Bold.
Very bold.
Bold.
Love the ambition.
Yeah. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land among the stars, although not really, because space is functionally infinite and you're still super far away from the stars and you're going to die way before you ever reach one.
And you're just going to float.
You're just going to float and starve to death slowly but surely.
That went dark quick.
Good luck to Michael Hecht. That is the man who has been chosen by Jeff Landry to spearhead the effort, meaning this is the man who has the pleasure of working with various state and city agencies to get these improvements done. He says, quote, "My goals are pretty straightforward. We're going to prepare New Orleans and really make it shine. We're going to make infrastructure improvements that are going to benefit residents for years and years to come. And we're going to demonstrate that Louisiana and New Orleans are uniquely great at hosting Super Bowls." I love, again, the sentiment, right? And when you have these big things, be it a Super Bowl, a World Cup, there are major questions on the tail end about, was this actually good for the town? Now, I think, or for the city, the state, the country, whatever. I think World Cup's a bit more problematic because people build these giant stadiums and then go on to never be used again.
Yeah.
That's not as much the case with the Super Bowl, obviously. And I think if you want to talk about benefits that could last way beyond the Super Bowl, infrastructure could be great. Again, I just don't know that we have any faith that any of it will actually get done. But they do say about 150 road, curb, and sidewalk repairs in the city and on the highway route from the airport are planned. 75 lighting upgrades, 40 drainage fixes. Here's one of my questions, though. They literally won the Super Bowl bid in 2018.
Yeah.
We're 8 months before.
It got delayed. They were supposed to have it last year, but because of Mardi Gras, they pushed it and Vegas got it. So they actually had a buffer year.
And it's look, I get it, man. I procrastinate. I do my best to work under a deadline. I think most humans are like that in some way, but I'll be damned if 8 months isn't kind of waiting until, if I'm Michael Hecht, I'm feeling 24/7 like I have a ticking clock in my head.
What the heck? This is never going to work, guys.
I mean, have you think about anything even in a relatively small business like we have here? That was a good joke, by the way.
I hate that I love that.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Good. Very good.
But even in a relatively small business that we have here, it's okay, you want to get something done. Well, there's a meeting, and then a meeting that takes place above the meeting because it got run up the flagpole. And then it comes back down with the answer, and there's another meeting, and it's nothing gets done. Now multiply that by 1 billion, and give yourself 8 months for all of these improvements. I hope so. I friggin' hope so. We've said it multiple times before. Jeff Landry has more power than any Louisiana politician has had since Huey P. Long, and I don't care if I agree with his politics or not. I want what's best for the state, so I hope they pull this off.
But I also love how you couldn't fix New Orleans in years.
Yeah.
But suddenly you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
In 7
Also,
months.
the whole concept of fixing New Orleans is a bit odd. What exactly does that mean? Because I'm probably more bullish on the city than many are. Certainly though, that's where infrastructure becomes your kind of very clear, demonstrable, look, these are things that are functionally wrong that you can functionally fix. And so infrastructure becomes kind of this warm blanket to cover yourself in to say, this is how we're going to do it. But then why does it never get done?
Yeah, but you're going to get it done before the Super Bowl somehow?
I mean, look, I was thinking about this actually the other day. So again, in-laws coming to town this weekend, right? What this led to was me and my wife spending all of last weekend spending hours doing stuff we'd been putting off, right?
Yeah.
Completely cleaned up and organized the garage. A bunch of piles that had accumulated in maybe this corner of the closet or something now taken care of. And I was kind of thinking this sucks in some ways, but every now and then you need some of this social pressure to kind of get your life in order. So in that same way, here's to hoping that the Super Bowl is going to cause New Orleans to clean up their laundry piles, and maybe clean the garage a little bit, blow it out, sweep the back porch, get a new rug, whatever the case may be.
Pick up the broken glass out of the parking spots, that sort of thing.
In college, yes, that was my house.
Yes.
Not now, but yes.
But here's the thing: New Orleans hosts an event like that, Super Bowl, Final Four, college football playoff, doesn't matter, as well as anybody. So that part's already there.
Yes.
So they don't have to fix that part of it because
very good point.
No matter who I talk to, who I work with, when we have something in New Orleans, they are fired up. It's a walking city. Everything's right there. When we go to Phoenix or LA or Houston or one of these other cities to cover a major event,
Uber everywhere.
And it's a lot. Yeah, we're Ubering everywhere. And like from the press conference to the team hotel, from the team hotel to this event that they've got 45 minutes down the road. Like, it's not like that in New Orleans. Like, in the Final Four is going to be in San Antonio this year, and that it has the same feel. Like, everything's right there. It's walking distance, and everybody can be as one. Everybody's there for that event.
Yep.
When you go to these massive cities that are so spread out, it's like, oh, there's a national championship game here tomorrow? Cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And, so New Orleans has that part figured out. The food, the hotels, all of that. So at least they don't have to hit reset on that.
The stadium placement is the greatest advantage that the city has, and it's why – I don't think they'll ever get rid of the Superdome or move it, is because very few, maybe like Indy, but then it's Indy, not New Orleans, right? But very few other stadiums or cities have a major stadium that somehow doesn't clog up the entire city.
Yeah.
And that you can just walk directly out of the stadium to bars in downtown, and you're happy.
And you can walk to your hotel.
You can walk to your hotel.
Even if
super
you're
easily.
All the way down Canal, it's fine. You can walk to your hotel. It's nothing. In fact, when I'm covering an event, that's where we'll stay, and we all walk to do our post-game, whatever, pre-game shows. It's incredibly easy. It's the perfect setup for any major event like that. Just clean it up a little bit. Make it a little bit more safe for everyone to go out there, because every time this comes up, I'm trying to defend, like you do, I'm trying to defend New Orleans. Well, I'm like, yeah, well, if you know where to go, where not to go, if you go in groups, if you go, we shouldn't have to say that.
Yeah, look, the thing is, you're not going to solve the sociological problems of gang violence, culture, whatever. But how you have to handle age, every major city is, again, you just have to make sure the tourist places are safe, right? And for the most part, they are, but it seems to be encroaching a bit. And you had the window breaking epidemic with people getting stuff stolen out of cars. Again, these are incredibly hard problems to solve. You got to try to do those. But besides that, again, that's why infrastructure is at the forefront and on the tips of the tongues of all these politicians. Is you can fix lights, or in theory, you should be able to fix lights. You should be able to fix roads and curbs and sidewalks. That doesn't, or drainage, it doesn't feel that crazy, but it is well, then why haven't you done so yet? And you've been promised so much in the past that has never come to pass. Will we, is it actually going to happen this time? We'll see. We'll see. That presser being at the Sanger, how appropriate will it end up being, right? Will this all be performative, or will there actually be some functional wins to be had here?
I truly hope so, because it's already, again, it is really the best place to host any event. And I think almost every event should rotate Vegas, New Orleans, Vegas, New Orleans, because they're set up for success. They are set up to be able to host those. They got convention centers, all of that. And again, just where everything's located, it's perfect. And if you just did 25%, 35% of what you probably are shooting to do, I think it would be a vast improvement, and it would make it even better.
Yeah, you get, like you said, get 75 of those 150 road repairs.
Yeah.
40 of the 75 lighting upgrades, 20 of the 40 drainage fixes.
And let's just make sure the lights don't go out this Super Bowl in the dome.
Tiger Backwoods is a pretty good point here in the chat. If the Saints didn't suck, there'd be less break-ins and theft. It's kind of all Derek Carr's fault. It's well said, Tiger.
Yeah, I tried to tell y'all.
He did try to tell us, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Dennis Allen bringing some of that Oakland over here.
Nothing about Dennis Allen.
He brought enough Oakland with
has
him.
Enough has enough swag to be considered Oakland. Dennis Allen came from Napa Valley down to Oakland, and that's what you got.
Yeah. You're probably right. Breaking into Derek's car, says Nick Willis. It's a pretty good joke. It's really bad. So we'll see. We'll see if this comes to pass. I definitely hope that it will, and more so than anything, the Super Bowl is going to be great no matter what. I hope that actual, real, beneficial infrastructure work gets done that will echo far beyond the Super Bowl. So now if we could just get those payments for the Superdome done. Okay, 8 months, boys. 8 months. Let's see if they can do it. What do they call it? The summer of the Super Bowl, beginning now. When we get back here on OTB, let's talk about maybe the craziest nights. The craziest night in sporting history from a crowd perspective. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You go to that website today, and you're going to look at their incredible gallery. It's going to blow you away, y'all. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. What do they do? Let's see. Any size, any type of fence, bulkheads, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, outdoor living spaces, completely customized pool, or you can choose from their spec pools where you choose a number of different templates, a bunch of detail work within the templates, and in no time at all, you have a pool ready to beat the heat for this summer. Look, right now at Pinnacle, we are hiring designers and project managers, and I'd really encourage you to go look at the website because you're going to see just how creatively you're going to be able to flex your wings if you end up throwing your lot in with the PEC boys. Go to PECbuilt.com today.
Yeah, when you go to that website, you'll see all the things that T-Bob talks about, but we want to encourage you to know that there's so many different options for you as custom can be. You've got a pamphlet of spec pools as well. Find all that information. Get in contact with them today at PECbuilt.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Scona, inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Saints, final media availability for OTAs. We'll have it covered. And the latest from the college baseball transfer portal, which Tigers are staying and going. We'll tell you 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, roll right along here on this Wednesday. Kicking off the offseason. Let's do a little pseudo-flustering here. No Matt Flynn, unfortunately. But I got a crazy story to talk about from 50 years ago. This kind of kicked off because in the Oilers game the other night, a woman got very excited after an Oilers goal, decided to flash the crowd. She didn't realize she was on camera, has kind of a funny, embarrassed little smile back at the camera. This led to OnlyFans reaching out to her, as well as a couple of adult sites saying, hey, you know, there may be a future for you in this thing. Which, again, the money's being made by OnlyFans creators will blow your mind. It's absolutely insane. But what this, so through some connective tissue, there's another story that started with a flashing but got much, much more insane. And it may be the single craziest night in terms of American sports crowds in American sporting history. Now, I'm saying American because, you know, I don't know what has gone down in South American football games, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, one time a goalie was killed.
Yeah, there you go.
In Mexico.
Okay, there you go. Exactly. Right. I mean, anytime, like, go watch the Partizan versus Red Star club matches from basically any sport out of Serbia.
Yes.
It is scary. I mean, flares, smoke bombs, chain link fences. And I
always love the ones that are like, you didn't think this player was going to be ready for the NBA coming over from Serbia?
Well, yeah, that's what Jokic says. He's like, I play in Serbia, brother. Like, this is nothing. My sister-in-law married a Serbian man, Dragan, who's a big Partizan fan, and he's even explained that, like, basically a lot of the kind of underground criminal networks are even run through these sort of fan clubs, right? So it's crazy. It's great. But again, in American sports history, we're a little more chill, except 50 years ago yesterday, when the Rangers and the Guardians, at the time the Indians, were playing in Cleveland, and Cleveland had been awful. They hadn't had a winning record since 1968. It's 1974. Nobody goes to the games. They average about 12,000 people. Well, that night, 25,000 people showed up. Why? They had 10-cent beer night. 10-cent beer night, which even adjusting for inflation apparently was incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
Because over 60,000 beers were consumed on the night. Multiple people sent to the hospital, 9 people arrested, and it all started, Jake, this was kind of the canary in the coal mine. In the second inning, a woman runs into the on-deck circle, flashes the crowd, and then goes and tries to kiss the home plate umpire, Nestor Chilak.
Nestor Chilak.
Nestor Chilak, hell of a name. World War II vet. Battle of the Bulge, survivor. What else are? Let me find out Nestor's other bona fides. He earned the Silver Star and the Purple Heart. Nestor is a badass. Nestor would also be very pissed about how the rest of this night ended up going. So it started with her. Next, it was a naked man running with nothing but 2 black socks on that decided to slide into second. Should have probably thrown a third black sock on.
Yeah.
Maybe avoided some of the charges. Later, you had a father and son duo jump onto the field and run out to center field and moon the Rangers outfielders. You had firecrackers in the stands that were later being thrown in the Rangers bullpen. In the ninth inning, you had a couple of 100 fans just rolling the field at the same time. And, like, all-out brawl started. Like, apparently, one of the outfielders, a guy ran by and slapped his hat off. And he tripped trying to chase after the guy, and the dugout thought that the guy had, like, hit him and tackled him. And so the manager was like, grab your bats, boys. We got to go save him. And then so, like, the whole team charges out there with baseball bats drawn, massive fights going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Nestor, the home plate umpire, is pissed. They have to end up calling the game in the ninth inning, leading to a forfeiture. After the game, Nestor, on the way back to the ump dugout, smashed every single light bulb he saw along the way. He was so infuriated about what had just happened. He would later say after the game, he said, bleeping animals, saying you can't just pull back a pack of animals. When uncontrolled beasts are out there, you've got to do something. I saw two guys with knives. I got hit with a chair. If the bleeping war was on tomorrow, I'm going to join the other side just to get a shot at him. What a crazy, crazy night. All because 10-cent beers. Dime beers.
Like, what did they think was going to happen, though?
I mean, it is
10-cent beers.
It is almost medieval in terms of, like, the mob just becoming unruly and there's nothing you can do about it. And this was before security. Like, so as the article points out, the only security are just the poor, like, ticket ushers.
Yeah.
Who are having to deal with a swell of humanity slowly losing their inebriated minds.
I mean, look, you get a whole stadium full of security, but if they want to take it over still today, because so imagine what it was like then. I bet that made, the next couple of games interesting. If baseball wants to get some more eyeballs, just sell 10-cent beers at the Pirates and the Guardians game coming up. I don't know if they play each other, but
Eric Tross says that's a gritty quote talking about if the war is on tomorrow and join the other side just so I could shoot him. True. I kind of get it though, man. Have y'all? I mean, who hasn't been in one of those nights where the drinks start flowing and all of a sudden bad ideas start to seem like really good ideas? I remember.
The story as old as time.
I remember one of my favorite nights in college. I went through a stage where I was partying with the New Orleans kids, and these cats are crazy. And one of their roommates was out of town, and I've never seen an apartment treated as badly as these kids treated their apartment. We were spray painting the carpets. They had Taco Bell hot sauce packets that they were just spraying all over the room. Next thing you know, we start drinking Everclear and listening to heavy metal. And one of their friends, Bobby, was out of town, and we took a baseball bat and smashed Bobby's door to smithereens, just off of its hinges till it was nothing but splinters all over the floor. And then we taped up pizza boxes saloon style on his door to make up for it when he got back from his weekend trip home. Again, why?
How was Bobby when he came back home?
I mean, he lived with those guys.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like respects among thieves. He was like, this is ridiculous, but what did I expect?
Yeah.
I think it made it a bit harder for him maybe to get intimate with some potential partners later on, but
the pizza box saloon doors will do that.
It's again, there's nothing logical about smashing a door to smithereens with a baseball bat. There's nothing logical about running onto a baseball field and sliding into second with nothing but 2 black socks on, but sometimes it just feels like the move.
I bet sliding.
Yeah, he slid into second.
Bare ass with just socks on didn't feel great.
You gotta hope he slid on his back too.
But again,
burn would have been something
hurt.
serious.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know what tends to eliminate pain?
Alcohol.
Yeah, too much beer. Too many 10-cent beers.
It's fair.
You might feel it the next day. You might feel it for a couple of weeks afterwards, but you ain't gonna feel it in the moment. You got your adrenaline pumping, swinging meat in front of 25K. Let's go.
So they used to just have like wild promotions in the MLB back in the day. Because have y'all ever heard of Disco Demolition Night that they had at Comiskey Park?
No, somebody in the chat just said, look up Disco Demolition in 79.
Okay, so it was like they had a promotion where you brought a bunch of disco records and they were basically burning them on the field and just destroying disco records. These are anti-disco people. and they're just destroying them, and it ended up like in a riot, and they had to cancel the game the next day.
Can the old heads let me know why was there like,
I think you know how it's like,
why was it so anti-disco? Was it like it's not cool, or was it like it's corrupting the youth?
well,
Like what was it?
You know how everything has like in the 50s, what were they called?
Like, what do you mean?
Foot burnings?
Like counterculture and stuff like that. That it's just a thing.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I want to know who's doing the burning. Was it youths who were like rejecting disco because they're like it's no longer cool, like we're moving into a new phase, or was it old people being like disco is cocaine and drugs and partying and we need to okay.
Yeah.
So this was the youth saying disco is of the 70s and we are moving past it.
Yeah, it was like a radio DJ, and
This is it right here on video. T-Bob.
Okay, yeah, this looks like young people.
Yeah, and they're blowing them up in the outfield.
Yeah.
Man, is there a genre of music that you would blow up? I would blow up pop country.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
If we could blow up pop country, I would be
One
down for that.
exception, and I don't know why.
You're Gold Chain
Morgan
Cowboy?
Wallen. Well, no, he's not pop country. He's real country.
But I've
Morgan
never listened to
Wallen.
his music. His pictures do not lead me to believe he's real country.
No,
but maybe
Parker
so.
McCollum.
I like Parker McCollum
Yeah.
too.
Parker's kind of pop country.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
got to
think
be
so.
pop. You don't wear that gold chain if you're not.
I don't
pop
think he's that
country,
poppy.
dude.
I know y'all don't feel the gold chain like others, but that's okay. You can wear a gold chain.
I will say that Jake. I do take Jake's opinion if he's saying that Parker's not pop
I don't
country.
think
I'll give
he's
that more.
Totally.
He's
like,
not
he's
very
got some,
poppy.
He's got some good ones. I mean, some of it will like be on the edge of it. But
Are you telling me if
one
we had a pop
genre-
country burning that it wouldn't end up that a Parker McCollum CD wouldn't end
But
up?
I don't mind.
No,
I don't
think
mind it
Okay.
as much as y'all do. I mean, I prefer '90s country, obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Gosh, that's a great question. Like, if I could just,
And everybody's gonna go Morgan Wallen, straight Morgan Wallen, but he would be my one exception. I don't know what it is, but I can get behind some Morgan Wallen.
Oh, it seems like a lot of people can get
Yeah, I was
behind
about
some
to say,
Morgan
still got
Wallen.
Would you be
stadiums
getting
across
behind
the
him,
country.
Would I?
Yeah.
No, I don't particularly like his music. But that's fine, Music's weird. Music's one of those things where it makes you feel so emotional and reaches down so deep inside you, and so you want somebody else to listen to a song and have that same experience, and
Yeah.
they're just not going to.
It's just catchy.
Yeah, I mean,
As
I
you
don't,
get older,
I
you
don't
just
do
accept
anything.
they're just not going
Man,
to.
you know me. I'm more blues and old school, and like
Yeah.
I don't like too much screaming music. I don't
Yeah.
get the screamo stuff. I'm like, how in the hell
Yeah.
are you in your car listening to this?
That'd
just
be
like,
my one. Yeah,
just
that'd probably
chilling.
be mine.
Like you're at a red light.
You got a lot of emotion running through those veins,
I'm
Bo,
like,
if you just
I ain't
listen to
trying to do
screamo.
that, man. Music's supposed to calm me down. Like if I'm gonna get fired up, it ain't gonna be that either.
No. Screamo's like you're never like yelling to fight as much as you're yelling to like express your emotions.
Yeah.
You just got a lot of emotions going on inside you when you're listening to screamo.
I was a Warped Tour attendee back in the day, so
Look, I'm no stranger to dabbling
Yeah.
myself, maybe at a time I thought that guyliner would be cool.
ooh.
Never did it because I was too young, but
Shout out Derek
again, I
Crow.
also wanted frosted
Yeah.
tips.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have been in the gang there. You'd have fit in.
It's not a faith, Mom.
Yeah.
Frosted Tips was a way of life, Bo.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Still, one of my favorite bits that I've ever done with my friends is I bought one of those visors that had built-in frosted tips, like fake hair.
Yeah, like the guy
And
Fieri.
so we'd all gone off to college, and except it like perfectly matched my hair, like the color and everything. The roots did.
Yeah.
And so we'd all gone off to college, and we had finally, it had been a few months, and everybody had seen each other, and so we're in Athens meeting back up, and I wore the frosted tips visor to re-greet everybody, and oh boy, when I tell you my friends were nice, but so obviously disconcerted.
Yeah.
Like nobody was straight up calling me out, but they were all kind of like looking at me sideways, a little wary, because it's not just the frosted tips. You're also casually rocking a visor before you're going to the bars. And they all thought I had gone major change in those few months. I'd grown up. I found myself.
A visor is a vibe in itself. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. The visor alone would have been enough to kind of caused some side eyes. The realistic frosted tips had them feeling like, and then I'll never forget the kind of the exhaling of relief when I took it off and showed them that it was just.
Why do we think a visor was created?
For Steve Spurrier.
Show the flow. Show the flow while keeping the sun out your face.
I mean,
it's like an extended. It kind of serves the same function as like a headband or a bandana, but with additional sun protection.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but like, why cut the top off? Now, it's like if you're an offensive-minded college football coach, you're going to wear a visor.
Yeah, you probably should.
You're going to be Spurrier, Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze, BK, like all
Lincoln
these
Riley.
guys. Lincoln Riley, visor guys.
I mean, why wear a? I guess is it like why wear a bandana instead of like a beanie or something? Like maybe it's a bit cooler, right? A bit temperature control if you're in a hot part of the country.
Yeah, that's what a bandana I think was originally supposed to do.
So
was stop
visor
the
kind of
sweat
makes
from hitting
sense in
your
the
brow.
same way, just with more UV protection, right? You're going to get the sweat absorption of the brow, and you're going to have a little bit of a heat release through the top of your head, which I believe is where you lose most of your heat, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they always told us growing up?
Yeah, and your feet.
I feel like we kind of mathed out how visors started just now.
I think we did.
Temperature control.
Yeah.
And look, maybe a bit of a style element as well, where people want to show off their hair or they like how it looks in a visor.
Oh, I knew people in high school that would fix their hair to go in the visor. I'm like, you're
for
doing
sure.
a little too much for me right now.
My
like
favorite
they would fix it and then they'd undo the visor and like slide it up and then tighten it in the back.
Technique.
You know, so the
I was
hair
a visor girl
Really?
Ooh.
when I played softball. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
that makes sense.
A lot of softball does wear visors.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, yeah, they didn't give us hats; they gave us visors.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The best visor usage was when people started wearing them upside down and sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, the upside down and the backwards too.
Malibu's,
No, I'm talking about
Malibu's
upside down
most
and
wanted.
sideways,
Like early
perpendicular.
2000s.
Yeah, like
Just-
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy.
Just a complete
Awful movie.
nonsensical way of you're.
That's like a rapper white guy move.
Well,
too.
you're taking
Yes.
you're like, okay, what's
K-Fed
all the
was doing that.
functionality of this product, and can I strip it of anything functional?
Yeah.
And just make it purely performative.
Yeah, there's no way Vanilla Ice did not wear a visor like that.
K-Fed.
He might have been a little too early. Now, maybe later on, you're probably right. He probably did at some point. He got a big visor, upside down, flip sideways feel to him. Rob Van Winkle.
Who's that? Wait, who?
Vanilla Ice's real name's
yeah,
Rob
yeah.
Van Winkle.
His real name is Rob Van Winkle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You didn't know this?
No. Oh my God! What an absurdly fake name.
Yeah, that's a
Rob
That's
Van
not
Winkle.
his like stage name. That's not like Vanilla Ice's fake rapper name.
No. His
Damn.
real name is Rob Van Winkle.
That's like Mac
I mean-
Jones. His real name's like McCorkle or
McCorkle.
something like
Yeah.
It
that.
actually kind of makes a lot of sense now that he was a one-hit wonder.
Robert Matthew Van Winkle too. Like Matthew's super white.
Because I mean, look, to be honest, all of his other songs just put me to sleep.
Did not know he had other songs.
Go
No,
Ninja Go
no,
off Ninja Turtles.
No, you idiot! It's about Rip Van Winkle. Do you know about Rip Van Winkle?
Yeah, the old story. The dude who slept
he
for a long
forever.
time.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't actually about the other songs, Taylor. His name is R. Van Winkle.
No, but seriously, I didn't know that Vanilla Ice had other songs.
Yeah.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Yeah, he knows.
I actually want to rewatch those Ninja Turtle movies, but I'm scared ever since I saw those thick turtles on Twitter the other day.
Why are you scared?
I don't know if I control myself. I don't want to
You
have sex
couldn't-
dreams about Donatello.
I was about to say you couldn't that day, so probably not.
All right, when we get back, more OTB coming up.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star. I wanted to go to All-Star. We'll talk about Active a little bit later. I wanted to go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. Also, ToyotaBatonRouge.com is the website. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is right there off of Airline in Goodwood. You go see them today and go see what they can offer you, man. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, whether it's leasing, buying, just outright, you want to go to All-Star. Sales staff's going to lead you to exactly what you and your family need. Great price point. You choose the level of warranty coverage that you want. It really is just a top-notch process throughout. And remember, you need a body shop, service center. You get free professional estimates. All makes and models are welcome. They keep you updated throughout the process so that you make all the final calls and any big decisions that need to be made. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, we tell you all the time, it truly is a one-stop shop. Buying new, leasing, or renting. Take advantage of all those processes T-Bob and I have, and you should as well. Go ahead and get that rental. That summer vacation rental, something bigger, maybe something better on gas. Just save miles on your car, whatever it might be. Go visit the website today, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us.
Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Nicholson at Burbank. Scott Rabelais joins us along with Russ Reynolds from Beeson and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday from Modesto on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So this is Parker McCollum?
Yeah.
This ain't bad.
Oh, Parker's good.
I mean, don't really get bro country immediately.
No, not from this. I'm still not going to buy, though. I mean, it's getting a little more poppy right here. I'm still not going to buy, though, that he's not pop country with that gold chain. Or at least doesn't have some things in it. He's obviously got a bit of both.
There's people in this room that are scared of gold chains, and it's okay. It's okay for y'all to admit that.
Yeah, look, I wanted one for a minute there.
I know, and your wife wouldn't let you.
I also wanted frosted tips. My parents wouldn't
I think
let
gold
me.
chain's a vibe.
Gold chain's better than frosted tips for sure.
It seems kind of like it's in the eye of the beholder.
No, because frosted tips is going to go. It's going to pair with puka shells, not gold chain.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what I'm saying is, but they're both still a very distinctive choice. Like they exist in the same realm fashion-wise.
Gold chains are tougher than frosted tips, though.
I mean, no, like I don't know that I agree. I see a lot of dudes in gold chains who are just tryhards.
Are you calling Tommy White a tryhard?
No, I love Tommy White. I love his style because he just is like, I'm going all the way in on it. No, it's some people make frosted tips look cool as hell. Some people make bleach blonde hair look cool as hell. Again, some people can pull it off, sure. But it is an undeniable choice when you choose to throw on a chain or a frosted tips. People are going to have a lot of predisposed notions, a lot of preconceived opinions. It's like a nose ring. You see a nose ring, what goes through your head?
See,
metal.
Nothing to me.
It's good, Taylor. I'm like, okay, they're a little freaky, you know?
Really?
They just a little different. Yeah, you're not a little bit of a rebel. Like, there's no nose ring haver that is just going to be like the most straight-laced person that you've met.
I don't know. I used to have one.
Yeah, exactly. And you're a partier. You're a little counterculture. You grew up in like a great family bar that like deserves a sitcom. Like, yeah, I am not saying it's pejorative. I give off nose ring spirit. I live my life as if I would have a nose ring, although I do not. I'm just saying.
You should get one.
No.
I don't know. I know a lot of people that have a nose ring that I think, I don't know.
I don't think I'm crazy.
Are not freaky.
Or just,
I don't think
just
not
like.
a little freaky.
No.
Not
Well,
even a
I don't
little
maybe
bit.
know them that well, but.
You just think not a little freaky at all. You just stumbled into a nose ring one day, right after church.
So what do you think about when you see someone wearing a gold chain? Like, what's your like initial thoughts? Because I'm a gold chain wearer.
Yeah, a little bit of an F boy. You have abs. You got a little, not in practice as much as a very faithful and loving husband and father, but a little bit of NFL F boy. just a little bit of alpha male NFL F boy energy. That's all it is.
Okay.
But you pull it off. Again, some people pull it off, but then you see like the 16-year-old kid trying to get in the club with the gold chain and the black t-shirt, and you're like, man, you're just really trying to find yourself, aren't you? Right now. That's okay, kid. You'll get there eventually. Shout out Trey Morgan in his first 11 games in high A. Thank you for Texas, Alondra. The Rays third rounder is hitting .452 with 9 doubles, 2 home runs, 12 ribbies, and a 1359 OPS. He's 15-42 thus far. So very good start for Trey Morgan to his climb to try to make.
I mean, yeah, he's just another one of those guys from the championship team from a year ago that you don't forget about him because of how great he was, but I think you forget about just the skill set and how unique his skill set really is. You know what I mean? Like, he was a first baseman that was as good as anybody defensively. He didn't strike out.
No.
He had this great approach, but he still could hit for power as well, as you'll see in those stats you just laid out there. And just a gritty baseball player that did everything he possibly could to help his team win. And like you miss that on a team. You miss a Gavin Dugas. And if you just had one of those guys, it felt like on this team, because there's some freshmen that I think are going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But you just needed that one. Again, like you had superstars. You had a lot of things going for you. But if you just had like that one too gritty to be pretty player, like I think that's what could have really changed this team.
What is the most untrustworthy of body modifications? Because to me, it's ear gauges.
To me, it's face tats.
Face tats have kind of been softened by recent years of pop culture. To me. If you have ear gauges, I'm immediately like on my back heel.
I agree. I can't trust anyone with a face tat because it shows a complete lack of good judgment.
What if it looks cool though?
No face tat looks cool.
I think Post Malone's kind of look cool.
I love Post
But it's probably also because he's Post Malone.
Yeah. If he wasn't famous, you would not think it looked cool.
Jelly
No
roll.
love for your fellow Cowboys
think,
fan, dude.
Right.
Wow. He has like a whole. He has an
was
entire
wearing-
Raising Cane's that is decked out nothing but
my
Cowboys.
God.
Yeah.
cool.
If I was a Cowboy fan, I'd kick you out. I would
Yeah.
kick you out of the fan.
Well, you're
Let's
not.
go to break.
You've
When we
made it
get
clear.
back, more OTB. Close that out.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Christian T-Bob, please explain levels of baseball. High A ball. My son is listening. Okay. High A is like single A, but it's a little bit higher. Okay.
Are you really about to do that?
Coleman Roof. ColemanRoof.com. ColemanRoof.com. You need the most complete, the most respected, and the most reliable roofing company in Louisiana. You want Coleman Roof, okay? They can do any size job, commercial and residential. They can do it anywhere in the state or the Gulf South region. They do the construction portion on the interior as well. Like if you had water damage during these insane rainstorms, they'll do the drywall, they'll fix all that, and they'll fix the roof. And it's any type of roof. So again, reliable, respected, the most complete Coleman Roof.
Yeah, you go to their website today, find that contact information for your area because it truly is a one-stop shop. They can do it all, commercial, residential. ColemanRoof.com is the site, ColemanRoof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that...
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Koki Riley from The Advocate puts a button on the 2024 baseball season, and I give you my look at the 2025 roster and where LSU goes from here. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
That's cool. It's an interesting strategy, Laundry. You're like, let's just start playing bad music since we started talking about bad music.
I do, like, what a pet peeve of mine is when, and you did it on purpose, but when somebody calls somebody else's music bad, man, music is so subjective, and
exactly.
You might not like it all.
I subjectively think it's bad. in my subjective opinion, it's bad.
But I'm saying like how people just speak on facts. It's like, man, look, it's not for you. That's great. It's for me though. I don't know. I don't judge too many people's music taste because I'm all over the place.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, nobody will ever feel music in the same way that you do.
Right.
This makes my nuts shrivel into my stomach.
Can they still do that after
This
the
makes
procedure?
me like.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
Should have seen me and my boy in the. We did a little spa.
I don't
day
want to
in
know what you and your
Vegas.
boy did in Vegas.
We're
with your
doing the
nuts.
hot cold tub, and you got to be real comfortable with your partner to hit that cold tub up together, because that thing disappears, then comes back out to play, then disappears, then it's wild.
Like
Feels
Red Dead
great,
Redemption
though.
2?
Yeah, like Red Dead Redemption 2. Just call me a horse. Yeah, that's right. It's been a fun hour of flestering. Has anybody else thought of anything except for has anybody thought of anything except beyond an ear gauge that would immediately disconcert you? So for you, it's face tats, Taylor?
Yeah, for me, it's face tats.
Also, I did get Alondra to admit during the break that she got that nose ring freshman year of college, guys. I rest my case. Thank you very much. I
Things
don't
were
really
different
know,
back
man.
in
I don't
college.
know, like, because I've had piercings, I've had tattoos, I've had frosted tips,
Yeah.
I've had the gold chain. Like,
What
I don't
piercing
know,
did you have?
man. Double studs.
Dang, you had double
Double
studs?
studs, yeah.
Hell yeah.
One stud wasn't enough, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I have like a bunch
See?
in my ear.
The same F-boy energy that led to double studs, puka shells, and frosted tips has now led you to gold chains. It's the modern. It's the modern.
I don't think they're
evolution.
related. I'll disagree with you there. I don't think they're related.
I don't like the septum piercings.
What,
that?
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
I
bowl
can't stand
one.
that.
Well, yeah. To be clear, there are also levels to the nose ring thing.
Right.
A little stud.
Yeah, I
or
had a
ring
little
on there.
stud.
How are you feeling about,
See?
how are you
That's
feeling
kinda
about
like
tongue
whatever.
rings?
That's not, yeah, exactly.
Septum
It's
piercing.
like
Remember
whatever.
how
I
in
had a
vogue
little
tongue
stud.
rings used to be?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did multiple
That's
bros.
freaky.
That was another F-boy move. I had multiple F-boy bros, the dudes who would sleep with the most random women, always had tongue rings. And to be fair, yes, a lot of promiscuous women also used to rock tongue rings.
I guess it doesn't
And I
bother me
get
as
it.
much because like you don't see it as much.
Yeah, but when you do,
Well, yeah.
I mean, you
it's
used to
inherently
see it
sexual.
all the time.
It's
T-Bob and
I
I's
liked it.
age, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
No, I mean like you don't physically see it as much if someone has it.
Right. I see what you're saying.
No, but you feel it.
What about
was
male
their hope.
nipple rings?
Oof.
Anytime you see a nipple ring
No,
poking through the
let's
shirt,
not.
you're
big
like,
red
"Oh, this
flag."
is
That's
crazy."
a
And you better be
huge
careful.
red
Like
flag.
Sean Jordan might be listening to this show. He might whip your ass.
Oh,
Off
psycho.
the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com today and feel better. Rejuvenate that youthful, energetic feeling that you used to have when you were walking around the proud peacock that you were. Look, in all seriousness, fight the untreated effects of aging. Like, why don't we? Do upkeep on your body, okay? You go into Rejuve Me Medical, location now in Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, and Monroe, and you get your labs drawn during that free consultation, and then your body is the guide to tell them where you're deficient, where you're strong, and what you need to become your best self. So reach your full potential, RejuveMedical.com, RejuveMedical.com.
Yeah, go to the website today. Like T-Bob said, I mean, so many different things that you could be dealing with, and maybe you just don't know what you are dealing with, but you know something's just not right. Get a consultation set up throughout Louisiana, in Mississippi as well. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Wednesday, June 5th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of 88. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll talk the latest with the New Orleans Saints, the NFL story of the day, and we'll close things out with some Ask the Bench. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. It's a fun hour. We're going to talk some Saints coming up this hour. What happened in the baseball transfer portal yesterday?
So it's Micah Bucknam's in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Zeb Riddell's in the portal. And Austin Rowland.
Yep. You know, these are the portals that you understand and that I think you support and applaud in that, look, these are guys who, for whatever reason, haven't been able to find their way to the field here quite yet. And look, you get one chance to play college sports, so you might as well go and try to get some playing time. The only thing that upsets you, I think, from a fan perspective, in terms of the portal, is when you have a guy like sniped away, right? Like somebody who was playing and was doing well, but just somebody sold them on the idea that the grass is greener on the other side. So, best of luck to those guys as they seek to find their fortune. I can't wait to see what Jay Johnson does in terms of being the guy showing others that the grass is greener. You know, look at what Luke Holman ended up doing for you.
Hey, look at the transfers. You've had Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about just as a history of Jay being, I mean, you go back and, you know, Tommy Tanks obviously and Paul Skeens and just but like Holman and Jump, like all the names that we're listing here, they've all succeeded. All the big name transfers, right, have succeeded, right? I mean, even like in his first year, you know, he brings in a guy from Arizona State and gets drafted by the Marlins in the first round. I mean, he's had so many hits in the portal. Like when you shoot for the moon, it doesn't always work out, but it's kind of worked out for Jay John. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to delay so I can think of one that was a big miss.
I mean, Mac Bingham didn't do exactly what you would have thought this year.
That's probably fair.
He's
he was all
Pac-12
yeah.
guy. It's not to say that's 100%, but look, LSU's going to have as strong of a portal presence as anyone will.
I wonder how Jacob Berry is doing, by the way, in the minors.
That's a good question.
Name I hadn't
He
thought
was
of
really good.
in a long time, and it was only a couple years ago. But again, first rounder, and maybe he was always going to be, but he had a big year in the SEC and solidified himself. Tommy White had a great year in NC State, but continued that for 2 years. Paul Skeens completely changed his life by coming to LSU. I mean, he was a great player. He turned into the best player at LSU. So you can sell that. And there's so many things with LSU baseball you can sell. We know that. The environment, the resources, the desire to be great, maybe more than any other school in the country. Certainly with a school that has a football program like LSU, because there's others like Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Baseball is everything to Razorback fans, and I get it. But for LSU to have the desire to be great in football and baseball, if you're pairing them together, I don't know that any school can match that.
Jacob Berry was really good his first 2 years. In 2022, he batted .248. Last year, he batted .233. This year, though, 155. So he's batting .219 in his 3-year career in the minors with 14 home runs.
Okay, that is.
Did just hit a home run last month.
What, last month?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, his second of the season, so.
Doesn't seem like
that's
going to work
out. That's
In
disconcerting.
the Marlins organization, I think.
Nookie says, have we ever really lost someone to the portal that we wanted to keep? I mean, like Chase Burns leaving Tennessee? No, I don't think you have in baseball.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah. In football, there's maybe been a couple. Lance Hurd would probably be the most recent example, though, again, it's not a 100%.
Logan Diggs might end up being one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Logan Diggs makes more sense because Lance Hurd wasn't really playing yet.
And then Eli Ricks a couple years ago, who didn't work out at Bama.
Well, it depends on who you talk to in the program.
Yeah.
I remember all that when that was going down. It was
No, for sure. But I mean, I still think if anybody in the program is trying to sell us that they were cool with Eli Ricks leaving, I still think.
No, I'm just talking about when he was here and them trying to they're like, God, the potential is there. We just we're trying to find a way how to unlock it. I'm saying that was the push and pull.
Yeah.
With Eli Ricks.
Sasquatch Smash says, there was a girl in one of my freshman English classes at LSU that had nipple rings. She told us all how she rubbed them against the counter at her job, Jason's Deli, because it felt so good.
All right. Shout out Jason's Deli.
The perfect college story, the perfect setting, Jason's Deli, right? Just a classic college job. Oh, man. That is freshman year writ large right there. The girl in your English class talking about rubbing her nipples at the counter at Jason's Deli. Sounds great. That's America. It's growing up.
I couldn't afford Jason's Deli when I was in college.
Really?
Yeah, it's expensive. That salad bar, it hits.
God, I love their
expensive.
salad bar.
Wait, what? Okay, first off, I don't think I've ever messed with a salad bar anywhere ever.
What?
I've been to Jason's Deli twice.
Like Shoney's growing up?
No, I'm freaked out. I'm
man.
freaked out by salad. Just kind of sit in and salad ingredients sitting in the open air. I don't know why.
Maybe I'm not looking
Deli
good enough.
Salad bar is thebomb.com.
Yeah, it's good.
I've been to Jason's Deli like 3 times, multiple locations. Had no idea they had a salad bar.
So
What are you talking about?
It's like the biggest thing in there.
So what's the difference? Like, what are they doing to? But I mean, I'm kind of with Taylor in that my brain,
I don't know. It just hits different.
Doesn't even register that there's a salad bar because I've never even considered it.
I love a good
No,
salad bar.
I like a salad bar. I just literally did not know they
I
had
can't
one.
believe y'all-
Freshness of ingredients, like what's
I just
getting
the
you
choices
Just,
of
it hits
ingredients.
different.
Yeah, you can customize it however you want it.
So you walk into a Jason's Deli.
I go straight to the salad
Girls
bar.
rubbing her nipples on the counter. What are you putting
Leaving.
together in your
I'm
salad?
leaving.
No, you can't. You're already at Jason's Deli.
I'm going to stand back and watch for a little bit first, contemplate my next move.
Wait,
then
y'all
salad
getting
bar.
lost. I'm saying, what are you making your salad?
Going, in no particular order. Lettuce, cheese.
Some like iceberg, butter
yeah,
lettuce. What are we talking
iceberg.
Romaine, yeah.
Okay.
I go romaine. Yeah, I go romaine.
Put a little spinach in there.
Spinach is great.
Yeah.
It's going to be some onions without question on there.
100%.
Going to be croutons.
Okay.
Yes.
There's going to be a couple burled eggs.
Sounds great so
I'm
far.
skipping the
so we're
eggs.
getting into like Cobb salad territory.
Yeah.
And I know it's boiled,
I'll do
but
some
I'm from Shreveport, and everybody
What
says
about
burled.
ham chunks?
No, I'll do some shredded carrots.
I love ham chunks.
I love a good ham chunk.
No, I'm not.
I love a ham chunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They
maybe
have
turkey
them.
chunk. I'm probably gonna go
Turkey
turkey
chunk's
chunk.
fine as well.
It's a little bit leaner.
Turkey chunk's
I'm
fine.
gonna throw that on top as well. Yeah, and I'm gonna finish it off with a little honey mustard dressing.
Okay, that's
Nah,
what I was
I'm all
gonna
about
ask.
the ranch.
I love ranch on everything but salad.
I do love. That's kind of ironic.
I know.
I do love both of y'all's dressing choices though, because honey mustard and ranch would be at the top of my dressings.
Honey mustard's
maybe
elite,
followed
too.
by I like vinaigrettes.
I'll go vinaigrette.
Sometimes I do
Caesar,
like
if I'm in a
the
Caesar mood.
I'll put like the sunflower seeds in my salad.
I go
too.
sunflower seeds
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm in a crassus mood though, but yeah. Taylor, what about you? You
What,
you
salad
bar?
dressing?
Yeah.
They don't eat salads in Walker.
I would also do the boiled egg like Jake. I'm doing some iceberg lettuce. I like balsamic vinaigrette or Caesar. If I'm going Caesar, I'm just making a Caesar salad.
Yeah,
That's
see,
my
the
favorite.
problem.
But
Like Caesar's not good. Like Caesar, like honey mustard or ranch, you can pour that over a lot of different stuff.
Caesar, it's just
vinaigrette,
like
a lot of different stuff.
chicken,
Caesar is
lettuce,
a Caesar salad.
Parmesan.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there ain't
Croutons,
much you could do. But
grilled cheese.
I do the boiled eggs, a little bit of bacon bits if they have them. I do that a little bit. And I like balsamic vinaigrette dressing. I do like that.
Jeff G says, "Is good." Wait, T-Bob is freaked out by salad fixing sitting in open air, but wants a
Yeah.
boudin vending machine.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Look, man,
It's a great point.
I don't know what to tell you except that human beings are built on paradox.
Okay, that's fair too.
We always yell at people about that's hypocritical, but we all do super hypocritical things in our lives. We draw random lines that don't get drawn elsewhere. And yeah, boudin vending machine, I'm in. Salad bar, I'm out. For that reason, I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love salad. Like, I can't believe y'all have gone to Jason's Deli and not messed with the salad
I
bar
honestly
before.
don't know if I've ever gone to Jason's Deli.
I've been, I guess, the two Baton Rouge locations.
What the?
Yeah. I did at Rouse's a couple of years ago. I did meet a manager at Jason's Deli who gave me a gift card, but I don't think I ever used it.
Yeah, because it's like right across the
doesn't
street.
shock me.
I've only got
whatsoever.
like the sandwiches from.
Let me get,
Jason's
if you
Deli.
find it, let me get that gift card. I'm about
No,
to use it
the
at salad
manager
bar.
at the Jason's Deli by the Rouse's that you go to is a big OTB fan.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
my dog.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah, he is. He tells
Go,
me
JD.
when we go in there. For us, there's a Sport Clips like right by there, so
Yeah.
it's like, hey boys, go get your hair cut, and we'll take you out to Jason's Deli.
You know what? Okay, so you know how they say.
blue collar of all national haircut chains?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and hey, Sport Clips. Why's Gordy got, the advertising? Like
Yeah.
I pay for 5 haircuts every time I go in there.
Yeah.
Throw that
Sport
my
Clips,
way.
Stay away from me.
You know how they say La Quinta is Spanish for next to a Denny's?
I never knew La
Because
Quinta.
Did not hear that.
Because it's always next to a Denny's.
Yeah, I can
I
see
feel
that.
like Jason's Deli is always next to a Sports Clips because my dad used to get his haircut at Sports Clips, and I would go to the Jason's Deli next door while
Maybe
he was
there's something
doing
to
it.
that.
To be fair, the place I got my haircut at growing up was next door to a Jersey Mike's. Maybe there's something about
Sandwiches
cold cut
and-
sandwiches
yeah.
and haircuts. that
Alondra
just go
will
hand
love
in
Dads
hand.
love sandwiches.
You might
we had-
make fun of my gold chains and studs and frosted tips, but you're bougie as hell when it comes to haircuts.
I am.
We don't have a Denny's in
way
Walker.
Too much money.
We got a Waffle House right next door to the Waffle House.
La Quinta? That's what I'm saying. They're always next to a Denny's.
So maybe it's not. It's like diners and La Quintas.
Because
haircuts.
it's like
and
they
cold
share a
cuts.
parking lot.
All these things go ham and ham. Chunk.
I didn't hate that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, man, the fun fact: salad bars have more cross contamination than any other food delivery type. Hot buffets are okay, but salad bars are accessible.
I don't really care.
I don't care either.
Knew it. See,
Bro,
I
we're
sensed
from-
That's why I have a
sensed it.
high
I'm like Isaac
immunity.
Newton.
Yo,
I
we're
sensed
from
it.
Louisiana.
I'm like Einstein figuring out relativity. I
we
sensed
eat
it.
anything and everything. Like, why am I going to give two you-know-whats about a
Right.
salad bar?
I don't care.
Like, think about what we eat. Who cares?
Literal
Does it taste
mud
good?
bugs.
Okay.
Yeah, but I want it cooked, hot, right? Kill all that bacteria.
Look, if I go down because I ate at a salad bar, it was my time.
Right.
If you go down because you ate a salad bar, that's depressing.
It's my time to go.
That would be
Yeah.
awful. I would.
Can't escape the fate.
Nope.
I would make fun of you at your funeral. delivering the eulogy.
No, I'd want you
It's
to.
the least gritty way to go out.
It is kind of funny to think about. I'll give you that. It is kind of funny to think about.
You know how mad I would be if I got food poisoning from a salad bar? You want to talk about not worth? Like, at least if I'm going to eat some bad oysters or something, like, okay, you know, that whatever. That sucks. That's awful. But, like, you know, you're going for some good food. If I'm just trying to get a Cobb salad and I end up puking my guts out, I'm going to be angry.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to let y'all rain on my salad bar parade.
I could totally see T-Bob at, like, Jake's funeral be like, what happened? Was he working out too hard? All this T-Bob turns around. Salad
bar got him.
What up? Avo
What an idiot.
and says, we used to play beer pong and recycle the same cups all night at a bar. We're not worried about cross-contamination at a salad bar.
There'd be like hair in the beer that you're trying to drink.
Yeah, but that's just because you're building up your immune system.
And that's what I'm doing when I go to the salad bar at Jason's Deli that the
It
girl
is
was
kinda
rubbing
the
her
same
nipples
thing.
on.
Here. When y'all play beer pong, do you stack the cups?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Which
what I'm
is-
saying.
And then
like,
there's
think of
people
the
like
things that we've
blowing in
done.
them too.
Yeah, well,
And putting their fingers in it
Yes.
and stuff. So
I like how we used to draw that along gender lines.
what?
Only girls blow, guy's finger.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Are we still
getting
talking
the
about beer
blood
pong?
up. Yeah, exactly. There's the joke. Thank you, Taylor, for just really taking a cudgel to it. And just removing the barest lingerie of or negligee of subtlety that joke already had. You just went ahead and ripped it off with your teeth, didn't you? Barbarian, you.
God,
sure.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
Why is T-Bob casting judgment when he is a Central Plumbing plumber living his house on standby? Look, I gotta say, ever since I started doing the AG1 and stricter with the intermediate fasting, save for the weekends, my gastrointestinal tract has improved greatly.
I'm happy.
I'm glad you like it. I told you you would.
Yeah. Really, it's just any probiotics, but still.
Oh, sure. Let me give credit to the thing I'm doing, but then remember Jake gave me the details. Whatever.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is when I've taken probiotics in the past, it's also helped, but this has also all the greens and everything that you need, right?
You just didn't want to give me an attaboy.
That's not true. That's not true. You're being defensive here. Now I just kind of want to sit here to see how long it's going to take somebody to say something. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, let's talk a little Saints. As OTA's rolling right along, and I got a couple key questions about this team. Like I said, which one of the big three busts is going to step up? And then just how good can this defensive back room be? We'll touch on it coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Check it out, y'all. K to Z window coverage. KTOZblinds.com is the website. And listen up, if you're building a new house, don't forget about your draperies and blinds. Call KTZ today, and we can help you come up with a plan to cover your new windows and keep the sun where you want it. Think about that. Putting the sun in its place, okay? Okay, Egypt, you bums, we don't worship it, we control it. Why choose wood blinds and shutters over faux wood? Well, wood is actually half the weight of faux wood. Ironic. It's easier to clean than faux wood, and wood's a better insulator. The price is about the same for a better quality product, okay? Which window treatments are best for insulation? Plantation shutters are the most popular in this area, but honeycomb shades are also very good. Benefits of honeycomb shades. Great for shift workers who want to black out the room. Perfect rooms with loud acoustics. They help dampen sound. Versatility of these shades allow for the best view 1 minute, complete privacy the next. Again, this is the level of detail that you get from K to Z. K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
The Win Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're
Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Saints final media availability for OTAs. We'll have it covered. And the latest from the college baseball transfer portal, which Tigers are staying and going. We'll tell you 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
We're still doing this? We're still doing the Parker McCollum thing, huh? That's good. That's good. That's great. Hell yeah. Welcome back to OTB. Like, what a mid-show musical switch from you. Like, you could not have gone more opposite of what you're playing earlier. If we're just doing random, I want to listen to Heart of Glass.
Okay.
What's that?
By Blondie?
It's the old Blondie banger.
Okay.
And it's one of those songs that you hear it a bunch.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just the drugs, but in Vegas, my buddy was telling me, like, this is the one that I listen to get, like, pumped up. And you're like, oh, whoa, this is pumping me up. And actually, like, I see why this was created solely to serve one of the most party like eras in American history when you're talking about disco and discotheques.
Yeah.
We'll see. See if y'all think it's a banger.
No,
or not.
I love that song. Yeah.
Again, I had heard it before. I don't think I'd ever appreciated it until kind of recently.
Miley Cyrus has a great cover of it.
My wife says that you're bougie with your salads. You like butter lettuce. Yeah, I guess it's true. I'm not the biggest fan of romaine.
What?
Yeah.
You are bougie.
You're you're very bougie.
Sorry, I only get to live once. You know, the Bible tells me to treat my body like a temple.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm getting my nipples pierced.
And you only live once, so like live your life.
I want to add some, I want to make my body look like a
get a gold
cathedral.
chain.
Yeah. Yeah, get a gold chain. Pierce your nipples.
You already got the F-boy fade.
Caitlin, if you're still listening, text me about whether or not I'm allowed to get a gold chain or not.
Come on, Caitlin, just for the boys. Let him get it one. Just one for a month.
I can't believe y'all really had me.
Like with that baseball jersey, 2 buttons undone with a gold chain.
Yeah. That'd be a vibe.
It would.
It would, yes, it would be the same type of vibe that, in the 2000s was frosted tips, puka shell, and double studs. I just don't know if I can pull it off, guys.
You don't know unless you try.
Try it.
That's true. That's true.
YOLO.
Yeah, like the Saints. My pastor on Sunday, in the midst of giving
YOLO.
a very intense sermon, like really existential, and he's incredibly intelligent. It's the reason why I go to church that I do is solely because of him, essentially. But Sunday was like a really intense, self-reflective message that like asked some really hard questions. And at one point he did drop a YOLO, and it was very funny to me. Not that I laughed because, again, it was crazily intense at the time, but it was funny to hear him say YOLO. Kind of how it feels with the Saints, though, Derek Carr, YOLO. Just send it. See what happens. You only live once. And we all know this. When it comes to any football town, there's an old saying that nobody's more popular than the backup quarterback. Well, it's shocking how true that is, Jake, when already Spencer Rattler, like first it was Jameis Winston, who objectively was like not that good when he played, except for the first Sean Payton year. And I was the biggest Jameis supporter, okay?
Right.
And I was hoping desperately for like a Drew Brees level post-San Diego comeback for Jameis post-Tampa. It never happened. That said, Jameis still wildly popular with the fans. Well, it looks like Spencer Rattler has now slotted right in to where Jameis used to occupy in terms of being the great hope for the long-term future. Here is Dennis Allen on his plans for Spencer Rattler.
Look, I think the plan is that he comes in and really basically competes, and we'll let the cards kind of play out as they do. I think we were excited about the fact that we got into the 5th round and he was still there.
I mean, Jake, how about it? Plan is he competes and we see what happens. It's a pretty good plan. To be clear, look, the plan is for Rattler. You want Rattler to be the backup. The interesting angle to me, Jake, is would you feel comfortable with Rattler being your main backup? A rookie, 5th round pick.
I mean, it's either going to be him or Jake Haener, who doesn't have any experience either.
Yeah, and probably
I'm not trying to put Nathan Peterman into the game. I'm just not trying to do that.
If Nathan Peterman's on your roster, you've got a problem.
Yeah, I've seen enough of that already in his NFL career. I mean, you're going to be young anyways, and Spencer Rattler does have a very good skill set, and your quarterback room is not the best in the NFL by any means, right? But Spencer Rattler is somebody that I think can get you excited about maybe the potential because of where he once was in all of the NFL draft talk 2 years ago. He was a first rounder, and he went through some things. He matured a ton. Like you asked Shane Beamer about him. He lights up talking about him, and so he was great there for South Carolina, says all the right things, again, has a skill set to be able to make all the throws, and so you don't feel great about the quarterback room right now because they're young, but it's 2 players that thrive in the college level. It's better than going to Colorado State in the 3rd round and selecting a quarterback that you're like, who's that again?
Well, and to be fair to Allen, like it is a bit of a ridiculous question. What are your plans for Spencer Rattler? You're like, okay, you're talking about my 5th round rookie backup quarterback? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just see what he does. That said, I do take it at face value that he was underdrafted. Like you got value there, and that is exciting. And I liked what he did at South Carolina, so we'll see with Spencer Rattler. I would feel very encouraged though if he were to come out and assert himself as the 2. That would make me, and then you have that kind of tantalizing thing of, okay, if Carr does have some of his time for some reason, which happens a lot of that position, well, now you maybe get a glimpse of a potential future. Speaking of needing to step up in 2024, there are the big 3 busts, right? I would say this is Peyton Turner, Trevor Penning, and Isaiah Foskey. A couple of 1st-round picks and a 2nd-round pick. And Foskey's interesting, man. We talk about Turner and Penning a lot on this channel. And those 2 guys, again, so much of their problem's been injuries That was not the case for Foskey last year. He had dabbled in a bit of an injury, but he just couldn't really figure it out on the NFL level. And it's crazy because we're always, Jake, sitting here and during combine time, we're like, we don't care about the underwear Olympics. Turn on the film. Okay. In 2022, Foskey had 11 sacks and 14 tiffles at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, he had 25 and a half sacks his last 3 years of college. Like, he was a very productive college player. Why is it not translated to the NFL yet?
I don't know, but it hasn't really at all. And we didn't even really see him on teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even make an impact there, like where you would think he would dominate, because when you're selected in the second round, you're supposed to be a starter. Like, it's like really no questions asked. Like, you're supposed to give me starter value. And he wasn't giving special teams value. So what was the big disconnect? And sure, I mean, Notre Dame had a really good defensive line, and so there was other people that were taking up blocks, and he wasn't getting all the double teams, and he won his one-on-one matchups, which is great. But, like, we haven't seen any of what we saw in South Bend in New Orleans.
No.
And that's troublesome. Again, like, if you can't get on kickoff, if you can't get on punt, if you can't get on punt return and make an impact as a second-rounder, that gives me some big worries in the fact that you're not showing me anything. Because I've been around guys that were first-round, second-round picks, and they just were not ready to play on one side of the ball, but they could be a teams guy. And you got to buy into that too. You have to buy into it and look, you've got veteran defensive ends, and they go get a Chase Young in the offseason. That shows what they think right now about Foskey and what he can be.
True. And the thing about Foskey is it's not like you have to be the guy. I mean, you got Granderson, like you said, you got Chase Young now, you got Cam Jordan still, who isn't what he was, but still demands a lot of respect and attention. Like, you just have to be a guy. Can you be a guy? Unfortunately, I don't believe Peyton Turner can be a guy. I think the injuries are just too much. I'm starting to become more and more bullish on Trevor Penning. With a healthy offseason, he's been able to fully commit himself to improving his game. And I love hearing that he's going to the O-Line Mastermind Summit and everything else. And I thought it was very interesting what Nick had to say yesterday about actually the bar for good O-line play in the NFL is really low because there are no good O-linemen. So if I had to choose which of the big three busts I think would be the next big guy or could break through and be a guy, I'm going to say Penning. I think Penning will start at right tackle this year, and I think he'll do okay.
I think he's your right tackle, hell or high water.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I don't know where else you would turn right now, and I think that gives him better opportunity. Maybe not as much pressure, although you're going to be going against the other team's best rusher. I mean, that left end position is the one where you're going to see all of your elite guys.
Yeah,
he's going to be tested, and I can appreciate him going to the things in the offseason knowing that he's nowhere close to where he needs to be. He's not blaming anybody else. When you go do those things, you know what it is. You know you have not done the things that you have to do. He is maybe the most important non-quarterback player on this Saints team.
Well, and I can't remember the name from the New Orleans football piece, but one of the head trainers at House, the HAUS O-lineman camp, was saying, like, he's just so massive, I just need to get it through his head that he can use that size to his advantage more, because his problem is he gets out over his toes, he lunges, which I understand. That's what I used to do, but I was small. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to make up for a lack of size. When you're as big as he is, you can invite it. Make them go through you and challenge them to do so. You should be able to anchor down and take it. So, yeah, I'm feeling okay about Penning's potential here. Again, not in terms of being great, but in terms of being a guy, a viable starter in the NFL. Way more than a guy is this Saints cornerback room, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time here, but I thought it was very interesting. John Hendricks' piece on Canal Street Chronicles, where he just pointed out some of the numbers on Paulson Debo. So we all know he led the Saints in picks with 4 of them, but like interceptions a weird stat. He was 3rd in the NFL in passes defensed, 18. He had the 10th best passer rating allowed, Jake, only 58.5. And the passes defensed metric let us know that he was being attacked a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And he still held opposing quarterbacks to 58.5 passer rating. In terms of overall grade, he graded out 15th out of 127 cornerbacks, in just coverage 14th. I mean, these are all very impressive numbers. And now you think, okay, you got him, if Marshawn Lattimore's healthy, Alontae Taylor in the slot, and now a Kool-Aid McKinstry that Dennis Allen is very high on. Alondra, wouldn't you say that Dennis Allen is pretty high on Kool-Aid McKinstry?
I thought probably one of the smarter, more instinctive players that I've seen in a while. And so I really like the fact that he had some inside-outside flexibility in terms of the corner position. I loved his intelligence and his instincts.
God, why are all these just cutting off in the middle? But look, the point is, I legitimately think that the Saints could have a top 5 cornerback room in the entire NFL. And then you got a good field general like Tyrann Mathieu playing safety, kind of behind it, leading everything. I'm excited about the potential of this Saints secondary.
I mean, yeah, you could see all 4 of the defensive backs that we talk about all the time on the field at the same time. You take Howden off the field, keep Tyrann in there. That's your 5 defensive backs. Like, you could easily see that. I mean, in most situations in today's NFL. And look, Baker Mayfield in your division had a great year last year. Kirk Cousins is coming into your division. He had, a solid year before he got hurt a year ago. We'll see where Bryce Young is. But, I mean, there's some veteran quarterbacks that are going to test you. And you've got 5 guys right now in the defensive backfield, really 6 because you like Howden as well, that you feel really good about.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Jordan Howden's a 5th-round pick out of Minnesota last year. The college production was huge. And then he allowed you to cut Marcus May, right? And no, Marcus May didn't play great by any means. He did not live up to the contract, but Howden kind of forced the issue as well.
So Saints secondary, kind of like the LSU offensive line, the unquestioned strength of this team. When we get back here on Off the Bench, we got NFL, we got Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
GEAUX Tommy's. That's Go Tommy's. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. GEAUXTommy's.com is the website. You want to get Tommy's on your next project. You want to make him one of the 3 bids. You want Hardy Plank or vinyl siding. You want wood or vinyl windows. You need any type of door. It's all there for you at Tommy's with the best customer service, the best reliability, just the best je ne sais quoi, the charisma of Tommy is going to bowl you over when you start to work with him and his team, and you're going to see why he is the correct person for the job and why they've won the Angie Service Award 7 years, running all 7 years. They've been in existence. Take advantage of Tommy's 27 years in the windows, doors, and siding game. That's GEAUXTommy's.com.
I mean, Tommy is so trusted in this community. Like, you have anybody come to your house to work on anything in your home, and they know Tommy, they are going to talk 10 minutes, 15 minutes just on Tommy alone. That's what kind of person you're going to be inviting into your home. The best that there is, GoTommys.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana.
Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Nicholson at Burbank. Scott Rabelais joins us along with Russ Reynolds from Beeson and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday from Modesto on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Man, I meant to tell you to play the video with it because I don't know that anything hits as well as does Blondie looking deeply into your eyes as she sings this song. Makes me want to party so bad.
I can't believe Taylor didn't read your mind. Like, he should have known.
I agree, Alondra. Thank you. Alondra came up with a very funny joke during the break. We were talking about Lyndon B. Johnson, and who's famously very well endowed.
So I didn't know
she said
that.
That's what the B stands for. Lyndon Big Johnson. It's good. It's really good, guys.
Thank you. It's not as good
Um,
as my salamander one. I'm really proud of the salamander joke.
remind me of the salamander because I remember thinking that was very
one,
good.
Or he was
as well.
married or something like that.
No, I don't
Oh,
remember.
because you were like, I don't know a single salamander.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, do you know any married ones?
That's good. All right. Let's get to our Tay-Tay NFL Story of the Day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, we got a bit of a lighthearted one today. So, T-Bob,
Oh,
don't
thank
get
God.
into your
Seriously.
feels. T-Bob cries every day.
Yes.
So, okay. George McCaskey, who is the chairman for the Chicago Bears, the grandson of George Halas, he is a home plate umpire for high school baseball, and he's been doing it for 50 years. But the Sycamore High School, which is about an hour outside of Chicago, their athletic director noticed that George McCaskey was their home plate umpire on April 27th. And the weird thing about that is that was the third day of the NFL draft. McCaskey's not in the building. He's an hour away doing this little hobby of his, home plate umpiring. He was calling over the athletic director during, in between innings, asking them who the Chicago Bears had drafted. The guy had no idea what was going on. He was busy umpiring.
So this is the current owner of
the owner's so the owner is George Halas' daughter. This is her son.
Okay,
He's the
cool.
chairman of the Chicago Bears. And he did the third round and then the fourth round, and he got an update that they drafted Torrey Taylor, the Iowa punter, in the fourth round. I mean, he's getting his draft information from the Sycamore High School athletic director because he's busy umpiring high school games, had no interest being there in Chicago, and he was asked about it recently. They were like, hey, why weren't you there? He goes, look, I'm the chairman. I'm not the owner. I'm not the GM. He goes, I was fortunate enough to be born into this family. He goes, I don't know the ins and the outs. He goes, I'll open my ears. I'll open my eyes. I'll keep my mouth shut and stay out of the way. So during the third and fourth round of the NFL draft, George McCaskey was umpiring high school baseball games and getting the updates from the Sycamore High School athletic director.
I was going to say, it is It sounds like what most head coaches would want out of their front office, right? A guy that is willing to say, look, I don't know. This is not my job. I just love the next level honesty of a fellow Silver Spoon brethren just being like, yeah, bro, I don't look, man. I was born into this. I just want to baseball.
What's funny, he said, he made a little joke about it. He said, the number one reason I officiate games is because I don't get second-guessed enough in my regular job. I like to have it here as well. So he was having a little bit of fun with it. They were talking about how the athletic director came up to him and was like, hey, you guys are on the clock. And McCaskey knew the picks they had. He goes, no. You already told me, like, we're out of fourth-round picks. They're like, no, you guys traded back up. He's like, well, who did we trade with and all this? And they were chatting about it in between innings.
Oh, what a weird experience with that Sycamore athletic director or whatever school it was. Eric Truss, that's some Roman Roy energy. I love it. Okay, I'll add an NFL story of the day, Dane. Christian McCaffrey, your boy, Tay-Tay.
That's
I asked
my guy.
Taylor the key to winning your fantasy league, and it turns out draft Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey gets a 2-year extension, Jake. How about this for the running backs? 2-year extension in San Francisco. Previous to this, he was under contract. He's now under contract through 27. He was under contract for 24 and 25, both years, 24, 25, and 25, 26. But he was due about $12 million each year. None of it was guaranteed. That is now all fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
An additional $8 million has been heaped on top. And the 2 additional years are added on top of that, I believe, are an average of $19 million a year. So a huge extension for Christian McCaffrey. Here's what CMC had to say about helping out his fellow man.
I think it's really important. I think, running backs have been undervalued for a long time now, and hopefully this is a step in the right direction.
The question is this a step in the right direction, or is this just CMC?
I mean, look, running backs still give you great value. They still give you the things that you need to win.
They give you great value, but they are not highly valued.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't understand it, and I realize that there's more high-level running backs maybe than other positions, and it's harder to find a top receiver or tight end maybe than it is a running back. But do the Chiefs without Pacheco, do they win the Super Bowl? I don't think so. Right? I mean, there's so many teams that we could point to that the running back was the key reason why they were who they were. I mean, look at Detroit. Right? They had a two-headed monster, and that was a big portion of what they did. Now, they had tight ends. They had receivers. We all know that. But I'm not saying that it should be above receiver, quarterback, tight end. It shouldn't be because, again, I do think you can find more guys that can run the football, but it should be a higher value. Like CMC is one of the best 5 offensive players in football, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's crazy alone in some of the other running back production. So, I mean, I don't know that it's going to change. I don't, but they're still valuable to your team and valuable to your success. The 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl have really good running backs, and they were a large portion of why they were there. Were they the only reason? No. Patrick Mahomes is on one of those teams, but think about the options that they didn't have at receiver and what they need. They needed Pacheco to step up.
Kamara, if Kubiak can help you find your way, you might have one okay payday left in you, man.
No, Jake makes a good point, though. Look at the final 4 teams that were left. Ravens, Chiefs, Lions, 49ers, all great running games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see if the NFL meta shifts and search to respect it, or if CMC is just a one-off. Coming up next, Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cole Kirsch Light, Visit our Children Blue Moon Lots Gas Citrus Suite.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company. CommunitySteelCo.com. CommunitySteelCo.com. Where is it? In Gonzales, Louisiana. What is it? Real steel for you. What a deal. Go there today and you can see the product, whether it's roofing, sheet metal, metal buildings, trim, purlin, tubing, any accessories that you need. It's all manufactured right there on site. So it's wholesaler to Gonzales. They make it. No middleman jacking up the price in the back end. That means they're disrupting the steel industry. They're pissing people off, all these old national steel guys, because they can no longer take advantage of you, the consumer. So any steel needs that you have, there's only one place to go, and that's Community Steel, CommunitySteelCo.com.
And you can go to the website or you can go see them in person right now. They've been open for almost 3 hours already, waiting on you to come through. Go to CommunitySteelCo.com, top right corner, click on Community Steel. It shows you exactly where they're located in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can't make it there today. That's okay. Call them at 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Koki Riley from The Advocate puts a button on the 2024 baseball season, and I give you my look at the 2025 roster and where LSU goes from here. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
That's how I feel about Accutemp. You can keep it playing. Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. I never dreamed I would get the service to the highest degree that I do with Accutemp.
Need a new AC, a unit.
This is a Chris Isaac remake. This is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to tell our listeners what you tasked us with, but I was trying to think of a song to maybe get you going a little bit.
Something to get my nipples hard, like a well-running AC unit.
I thought,
it's cold in your home and you're fighting the heat.
Yes, and that air is working so well that you got diamond cutters.
AccutempBR.com. Go check out Accutemp today. Have them out to your home, and well, you're gonna be blown away. It's a good joke, AC, but you will be blown away. Also, whole home generators. Get your free estimate today. Protect yourself during this upcoming storm season, y'all. Accutemp Baton Rouge, your AC, heat, and electric service to the highest degree. Accutemp Baton Rouge.com. AccutempBR.com. Excuse me. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Live, Vizzy Arts, Blue Moon Lights, Gas, Citrus. Ask the Bench, what other team than LSU are you going to build a dynasty with on NCAA 25? I told you I'm starting at Navy.
I'll start with Army. I usually go ULM, but I'll start with Army. Yeah, I mean, you do Navy, I do Army, and maybe
we won't be in the same dynasty, but I am willing to do a little Army-Navy just game against
That's what I'm saying.
another.
Like we're going to the office, and hopefully we can have a setup in there, and maybe we can stream it.
Ask the Bench. Who is the MVP for LSU baseball this year?
Stephen Milam. For me.
I'll say Bear Jones.
Yeah, for me, I was kind of either to Bear Tanks, but then again, the defensive. Well,
Luke Holman was so good.
I was about to say Luke Holman.
Yeah.
I almost feel like you always got to have like a on the mound MVP and
then
a
like
field
a
MVP.
yeah.
I'll still go Tanks.
Milam.
I think I kind of would still go Tanks, maybe. Raw production, the incredible defense. It's kind of like the same thing that Milam did, but more on the bat side and maybe a little less on the defense side. Ask the Bench. Can we get a segment highlighting the Evansville Aces? They're from Evansville.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do this week.
They were a 4 seed that, surprised a lot of people. Now they got to play against what's probably the nation's best team in Tennessee. Don't know how that's going to go for them. But, look, we've seen a 4 seed like a Fresno State win their conference tournament, get into the tournament, and win the whole thing. So,
look,
who knows?
those Aces are going places to Knoxville. Ask the Bench. Favorite hair metal band from the 80s? I don't know that I have one. Maybe like Def Leppard?
Yeah, I love Def Leppard.
Motley Crue.
To me, they're all kind of the same
Yeah, I love
band,
Bob.
which I know
Like,
is
I don't
offensive
know.
to the real fans.
No, I agree.
I
No,
think
I'm
like
being
if I'm going like true hair metal, like probably Def Leppard, but I don't know if Van Halen counts.
Ooh, yeah.
Van Halen or Van Hagar?
Van Halen. I'm a Van Halen girl. I know a lot of people are Van Hagar though.
Ask the Bench. Better summer toy, the slip and slide or the wacky sprinkler thing?
The slip and slide.
Slip and
100%.
slide.
Slip and slide's undefeated.
Yeah. Have y'all seen people do like those beer pong
So
or like
the
flip
Hitachi.
cup?
What?
Flip cup slip and slide where they have a slip and slide that goes to a table and then you slide on the thing and then you go do a flip cup
Oh,
and
that
then you
sounds
got to
fun.
run back and then the person.
That sounds
Like a
great.
relay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. I want to do it so bad.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. What's next on the calendar for LSU that you're most looking forward to? Got to be
Football
Vegas,
season.
right?
Yeah.
Vegas against USC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how could it not be? I mean, great stadium, great marquee matchup. Sunday night stand alone against a massive brand that also has some intrigue because they're going to the Big Ten. And you haven't won an opener since 2019.
Ask the Bench. With baseball over, Texas and Oklahoma are in the SEC. Feeling it yet? Jake probably is. He just saw them in Destin. Also, how about that all SEC college softball final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Big 12.
Yeah, we'll take that. They've
Red
already been to
River
spring meeting, so
rivalry.
basically they might have a Big 12 patch on their jerseys, but we all know.
Yeah, it's awkward. Everybody in town knows they're moving out, but they're still living with their old partner. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Only a couple weeks left to get done with. I like this, Jake.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Do you want to join a company that has an outstanding culture, dynamic culture, with outstanding benefits? Do you want to join the largest privately owned electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation? Well, you'll probably be shocked to learn that it's right here in Baton Rouge. Maybe not, because they're massive. And I'm talking about MMR. I'm so proud here on Off the Bench to be partnered with a company the size and the caliber with the reputation of an MMR, a global company that is trusted around the world to get the jobs done. And if you want to be a part of that, if you're a college student, if you're just starting out, or if you're a seasoned pro, I don't care. We have a variety of positions available for you. Apply now at mmrgrp.com, mmrgrp.com.
Yeah, you can go to their website and see exactly what T-Bob's talking about. I mean, here in the Baton Rouge area, you can see their campus off Airline Highway. It is incredible. It'll blow you away. But also in other areas, type in MMR Group on any search engine. It's going to pull up exactly what they have in your area, mmrgrp.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile.